The whole Latin death metal crew.
Death Metal Podcast live. Tonight's episode is back in the day. There was this young kid. He lived in my town, right? And he lived right next door to Bill Venner from Disma. And I met him, and I think he was on a skateboard, if I remember correctly. And we started to like exchange music and stuff, and he became a good friend of mine. So as time went on, he ended up in a band, dude, and the band was dripping. So tonight, this episode is going to be a dual episode, and then also we're going to be talking to Awaken the Cadaver too, and we got a special guest as well. So tonight, we got a lot of guys in the back room. This is going to be a sick fucking episode. We're going to play some music, we're going to talk some history, and we're going to talk about some new shit. So this episode of Death Metal fucking Podcast. So here we go. So on screen, I'm going to bring on, this is Sebastian and Ed. We got Jules coming from Spain. Dave Mark, who covers the samples. We got Don from Waking the Cadaver.
Yo.
And we got our special guest here too, Devin from Sanguisugabogg. What's
Thanks
up,
a lot,
Devin?
brother.
How's it going, brother?
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot,
for joining
man.
us, man.
Of course.
So
Yeah,
tonight-
I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah, man. Tonight, this episode, we wanted to showcase what's going on right now with dripping and with waking the cadaver. So basically, this episode we're gonna play the new dripping stuff, and on the new dripping stuff, we got guest vocals on. There's 2 songs recorded, Seb.
Yeah, there's 2 songs recorded, and I wanted to kind of keep it low, but you know, Dev, the kind gentleman that he is, he dropped his vocals and he tagged it, so everybody knew. So I was like, hey, all right, you know, let's just let the world know now. So everyone's like, oh, that's great, you know. It's like literally my Instagram shut. Like I couldn't keep up with responding to people after he tagged me. But it's all a good thing, and we appreciate you, man. Couldn't thank you enough, man. We're so grateful. Appreciate you.
So the new songs, you got Don from Waking the Cadaver on one song.
Yeah, can I say something though on that clip you just played? When we ended, so it was called "Bleeding Virgin Whore." What's the name of the song now? It made it to Disintegration. It's
I think it was Decomposed.
it was Decomposed. Did you hear me when I start playing Rippin' Corpse?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm playing Rippin' Corpse, like right after that. I was like, I was like, let's go right into this, you know?
Yeah, you were playing
yeah.
a little Ripping Corpse clip there.
I mean, of course, I fucking worship them, you know? Like, I have that fucking crazed CD still in the fucking package, and you know, like I put it in
let's say
front of
what's
me.
up to the fans too that tune in almost all the fucking time to Death Metal Podcast. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Bob Kelly? No Balone, Anzalone. What's going on, brother? Zach. One Red Cloud. What's up?
Stormy.
We got Devin
Stormy.
in the house. Dripping and
Stormy,
waking,
go.
exactly. And Sanguisugabogg.
Call your mama. Call your mama. Go.
Corpse. What's up, Nick Kamos?
Babe.
How's it going, man?
Please
Appreciate you
call
guys for
Stormy.
tuning in. Thank you. There's gonna be a sick fucking episode.
Go with your mama. Go with your mama. Go.
So we got
right.
Stormy is part of the crew here.
I know. I guess Stormy wants to chill.
What up? What
You
up?
wanna-
What up?
You want to chill, Stormy?
What's up,
You
Evan
wanna chill?
Williams? Thank you for tuning in, man. So tonight we're gonna play the new song, basically, which this features Don on vocals, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Word. Let's do
So
it.
here we go.
And Jules on bass.
Door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension.
They come from another world. Existence is futile. This is the future. mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. We're going back in time.
Right, so we got everybody back on screen. What's going on, guys? So that was the new Dripping.
What up?
So let me take this stupid banner off. All right, so let me see if I actually can make these.
It's fucking
we go.
freezing in here.
That's
It's been
even better.
cold in fucking Florida
Much better,
today.
much better. All right, so can you, Sebastian, could you talk about the history of Dripping real quick and where it led to now? Because you're in Florida now, and the band started in Jersey.
Yeah. So like around like I mean, I'll try to
Yeah,
keep
just
it as short as
abridge it.
possible. I met 1997. I used to work at Guitar Center in Clifton, New Jersey, and I meet Bruce. I had a band called Drown in Blood. It was kind of like Dissection, Morbid Angel, and then I met Bruce, and then he was like, "Hey man, you want to do like stuff more like Suffocation, Pyrexia?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, we love that shit." We changed the Drown in Blood songs, and which became Cadaverman songs, and we didn't have a singer, but he was like, "Listen, my boy Tom, he plays bass, he's got to come with me." So Tom Kiefer, fucking love that dude. Big ups to Tom. Tom came, and we really didn't have a singer, but Joe Lorenz was kind of like our roadie, so we just threw Joe Lorenz singing. But Joe loved Frank Rini, so he loved like Voracious Contempt, Internal Bleeding, and like that was Joe's style, so it fit right in. Bruce was expanding his style. I think we heard like the Scorch demo, Devourment demo, and we were huge into like Mortal Decay, and then Bruce is like, yeah, like I kind of like just want to step it up and shit, and we're like, yeah, and like so. We're like, fuck it, let's just do some fucking, like, the Texas guttural shit, with our Ripping Corpse style fucking influence. Obviously, we don't sound like Ripping Corpse because we're tuned down, but that was it. And then Dripping came around, and we're just like, fuck it, we're just not going to worry about if someone likes it or doesn't like it. We just played what we love to do, and that's it.
Yeah,
and then
cool,
I
man.
moved to Florida. We broke up,
Yeah.
I moved to Florida, and I meet Jake, who's in Blood Tie. We were jamming for a little bit, and he brings Ed, and from there it just became, we're like, hey, we got a show in New Jersey. You think we can make it? We're like, I don't know. We were like fucking learning the songs. Ed was teaching me the songs because I didn't know them. I'm not gonna say I'm old, and so Ed like figured out the songs fucking line by line, note by note, and then we'll go in the studio and teach us a song, and we play NJ Death Fest, and we got a smash, and we got a lot of attention, and I was just like, fuck it, man, like you're gonna die one day, like I'm like, fuck it, I just want to live my passion, I just want to do what I love, and that was it.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, the new song, and I have to just say this, and I'm sure everybody could pretty much agree, the new song sounds like the old fucking songs.
Yep.
Just the production is
It's
just
these
a little
fucking
updated. That's it.
motherfuckers. It's him and Will, because I'm like, hey, like I've grown. I want to do like a little more melodic stuff. I want to get my leads in. And they're like, no. They're like, no. We got to keep it raw. We got to keep it fucking gutter. And we got to keep it fucking intense. And
What up, Frank
I don't know.
Vacca?
What do you got to say Ed, about what I want to do and what you guys push me to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's really two kinds of bands that last this long. There's the kind of bands that deviate a little bit too much, and then there's the kind of bands that keep their sound, just how it was. And I think, Dripping has a very unique sound, and it's like, why would you deviate from something that's already so outside the box? Like, why would you step back into the box and make like a verse chorus typical song structure kind of album?
Yeah, man. I mean, it shows in the new recording. You guys didn't deviate at all. As soon as Sebastian sent me the rough mix without the vocals, and I listened to the song, and I was like, holy fucking shit. This sounds exactly like the old shit, man. God damn.
Hell yeah.
Because I was nervous, Seb, I have to say, man. I was nervous that you were going to deviate from the program a little bit.
I mean,
because you played so much.
You know what I listen to,
Yeah.
I listen to like Van Halen, I listen to like Dokken and stuff, so I didn't, I mean, granted, I was not going to put that in Dripping, but
Right.
it's tough for me. It's really, sometimes it's hard because like, you know, what I listen to, it's like getting influence. It's just like we don't listen to any. When it comes to dripping, we just write dripping, and it's not because we were like we play the new Suffocation album. Yeah, it got us pumped. We fucking love it. You know, we play Dev's shit all the time, and it gets us pumped. It gets us the energy, but it's never like we play it and we're gonna try to sound like it or move into that route. We kind of stay in our lane, and
Yeah,
you know.
it shows. So how did you decide? So you decided to bring on guest singers for this. So we got two of them right here. We got Don and we got Devin right here. So each one of you guys is singing individually on your own song. Devin?
I think me and Don are both on one song. We like double
Okay,
team
yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Oh, you are going double team on that? Don,
That's
your mic's
right.
off. So
Yeah.
so
Sorry.
you guys are
You got a
double
little
teaming
delay,
the other
right?
song. I got you.
Yeah. I can't
All
wait
right.
to hear it.
We got a little latency on our side.
And
Yeah, I'm
I've-
a little latency too. Yeah, my apologies. I was trying to figure that out. Actually, I had to dial back my settings to be low definition, and then everything is like normal again.
So yeah, I got a little
If you
bit
have
on
to,
that.
If anybody gets fucked up, if you have to, just log
Yeah,
out,
that
log
worked
back
for me.
in.
Now,
It'll fix-
now
it'll
all the
fix it for
mouths are
you.
moving correctly, and I
That
got
happens.
everybody was normal.
Nice.
It was pushing too much.
So this
I
guy
was
hit the nail, Seb. George Lynch.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He's my favorite guitar player. You know. So basically, like, you know, like dripping and waking the cadaver, like dripping kind of stopped and waking the cadaver grabbed the torch. You know, like they held it down for Jersey, and like there was always this humongous mutual respect for them. Like I always loved them. I've been a huge fan. There might have been a little tiny bit of static because I dated somebody that dated a member that's no longer in the band, and that was in the past. You know, I'm married, but there's been never nothing with Don, and like,
Right.
all right, so yeah, so we get to with Dev. I always been like hitting him up. It's like, yo, man, I would love for you to get on, and he was like, yeah, of course. It was like, okay, cool, man, like. Dude is so humble and down to earth, you know, as big as he is and as big as his band is doing. It's just great to see that. And one time I'm like hanging out with my daughter and somebody shoots me like this Instagram thing, and it's, you know, Deb live on stage with his band. And he's like, I want to talk about a band that's deep in my heart. I think he was playing in Brunswick, and he's like, band Dripping, you know, and then after that he followed with Mortal Decay, and I was like, oh man, like that, I fucking choked. I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, we were just some fucking kids from this Carney and Passaic just doing what we love, you know. We never thought it was gonna get this route. As far as Dawn, I wanted Dawn in a feature, and then we found ourselves without a vocalist and a bass player, so I was just like, Don, do you just like want to maybe just sing on the EP? And then I think, you know, I don't want to speak for Don, but I was just like, I mean, you know.
Let Don
like,
speak for himself then.
no, I was like, you want to sing that on the EP? I was just like, you know, we're not doing anything.
Yes,
so.
I do. That's what I said.
Yeah.
No, hell yeah. No, it's fucking sick. I mean, Dripping is an iconic band that has paved the way for people to really think out of the box. And I think what you said before was spot on. I think this is a band that has raised the bar in many ways to not follow any sort of specific way to do things, and I really appreciate that. And I think it's art. You know, this is an art form, and we're all musicians doing things here, trying to express, you know, emotions and feeling and thought, and you know, when you listen to Dripping, especially if you're, you know, under the influence of whatever your choice is, I mean, you're just like, this is it. You know,
It's a soundscape, right? There's a
yeah,
little
you're
bit
just
of a
like
soundscape to Dripping.
yeah, you're just totally engulfed in this
Stormy, go.
environment. You know, you're
Go.
just like, wow. You know.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Devin? Where did you first fall into listening to Dripping?
Oh man. Shit. I first got into Dripping from just being in Limb Splitter, and like Dan Baker from Regurgitation, like, you know, I had a brief like history of like some of the New Jersey bands. especially Waking the Cadaver, Mortal Decay, and he was like, "Have you ever checked out Dripping or Cadaverment?" And I was like, "No, you got to put me on." So
Nice.
I listened to like Disintegration, like years ago. When I started like going to shows and driving up to Cleveland all the time, and I fell in love with it, man, because it's so spastic and crazy, and you don't know what to expect with like any song, and it's got everything that I like, kind of tickles that fancy of like weird tech shit and then like old school brutality. And Seb like sent me some of the songs while I was on this last tour, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally down. He wanted me to do the like basic stuff that I normally do, and I was just like, man, I kind of want to get like experimental with it, just like Disintegration. And when I heard Don's song and heard that he's like doing Dripping the way it's supposed to be, the right way, I was like, I gotta get guttural as hell and do the weird highs and when it's needed, and
Right.
just plug in and record, so
Very nice. Very nice.
it's been sick. The new shit sounds like they
Go.
never took any time off,
That's
It's
what,
like a
that's what I
direct
that's what I
follow-up.
was thinking too.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
it felt like the band like never, because it's 20 fucking years. I mean, between
23.
recordings. So
23.
that's a long
I'm glad
time,
he didn't.
Seb.
Glad he
that's a
didn't take
long
my.
time.
Glad he didn't take my advice, because I was like, what if you don't pull it off and you try to sound like the original and you don't quite pull it off, and then nobody checks for your new shit? I'm like,
Remember that?
I think you
Yeah.
should innovate. I think you should.
Yeah.
We're all listening to Rick Rubin stuff and all that shit, and we're like, bro, I think you should just innovate and go in the direction you want, because if you don't nail it, I don't think no one's gonna check for your new shit again.
Yeah,
after
one
that.
day
So I was
we were-
like,
one
I
day
was
we were in
mad surprised,
Orlando.
Like, damn, I'm glad you didn't listen to me.
One day we're in Orlando and having this discussion, tripping on shrooms, listening to Slayer and Bad Brains. It's like we listen
Well,
to
that's
Slayer
the
and
whole
Bad
thing.
Brains
What I
like,
didn't
all
realize,
night.
the sound is really your sound. So it's like, oh, are you going to be, it's just you left. Like, is it going to be creative? But it's kind of like, Hanneman he sounds like Hanneman, and your sound, it's like, it's a little off time, kind of like, we know your sound, and you just, it's like you picked up right where you left off. Like, I didn't think, I was
appreciate
scared
it.
you weren't going to pull it off, but
I was
you
scared
did.
too.
So,
But
I'm
I have
glad you
to
didn't
thank
listen to me.
I have to thank him and Will, because like I will come to the studio with like MIDI songs written, and they're like, it's like they're like, these fucking guys are like, it's so clean, it's so death metal-y, I got leads on it, and they're like, it's too melodic, and then they fucking completely like scratch my shit.
I mean, hold on.
And then they disassemble it, right? And they're breaking apart, and then they're like, all right, now this is dripping. And I'm like, guys, I'm grown now. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I do gotta give credit to you though. Like, 85% of the stuff that you do right in those demos, they're really good. It's just like the arrangement. I feel it can't be too clean, but then again, I've only been in
Make
dripping
them
for about
dumber.
a year or
Someone
two now,
said in the chat.
I don't have,
They're dumbing you down, Seb. We get it,
No, it's not like Ed was like. So we recorded with Derek Roddy, and then Ed's like pissed. He's like,
P-Rod!
fuck yeah. And he's like, so first of all, we're sitting there, and Ed's like, it's not fucking like. He's like, we're mixing, and he's like, just like, scoop my mids, please. And I'm like, we recorded Disintegration on fucking on reel to reel, like it wasn't digital.
Yeah.
So it was just like the situation happened. It was like I did my ghost tracks. I did guitar A, guitar B, and then I was gonna delete guitar A, which was the ghost track. I never had time. We ran out of money. Jimmy, it was a place where Overkill recorded. I mean, the board was as big as my living room. The fucking place was like. People that recorded there were just like, fucking some like Motown singers, and we ran out of money. So I got kicked out of the studio, and then like it came out however it came out. Bruce paid extra money to mix it, and he took all the tapes home. So he has all of that, and like it's like a library of the dripping Disintegration data. So it came out the way it came out. It's got flaws everywhere, and he seems to appreciate it. He thinks it's artistic. I think it's like I want to. It's like before I die, I want to do my Pierce from Within. It's like I want
You
just
already
my
did, bro.
perfectly.
You already
Yeah.
did, man. And what about Jules? So, it's like, you got another member, too, another bass player here. So, we didn't
Yeah,
talk
we
to
got-
him yet. So, what's up, Jules?
Jules is the man.
Jules, you have joined Dripping now as the
Dude, I'm
the
fucking
new member.
freezing.
You know what I mean?
Are you?
You're doing the bass for Dripping now, and you play in a couple other bands. Can you talk about them?
Oh, well, it's a long list. Like,
We'll
you know,
talk about the more like recent things you're fucking with.
I guess the most recent thing would be Belphegor.
Okay.
I was
Nice.
with Belphegor for the last year, and then
Oh yeah.
in the middle of that, I was playing with Incantation, who I wanted to bring up to Devin. Devin, you know Luke, right?
Yeah, I've known Luke since I was 15.
Yeah, like real quick, just want to say Luke is literally probably. I love that boy, like
He's
sweetest
the man.
dude, and he actually said some really amazing stuff about you guys. So
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to play or tour with Sanguisugabogg. Sorry.
You got it.
He nailed it.
I have a hard time saying it too, right?
I only know it because Roger said it so many times to me.
No, yeah, but you know, like before Incantation, it was also Nile for a year,
Okay.
and then I got to play 70,000 Tons of Metal with Leaves Eyes, and before that, I was in Hellwitch for like 9 years, and that was an
Are you in
experience.
Hellwitch too? God damn.
Yeah. The hardest music
Oh yeah.
to learn in 3 weeks. Like, just so you guys know, like, I had to learn that shit in 3 weeks before we went on tour. And I had to learn the Nile stuff in 3 weeks because they needed somebody, like, so fast. Hellwitch is harder. Like, Hellwitch is just insane. And then I was in that band
I fucking love Hellwitch.
Yeah, that
Hellwitch-
first Hellwitch is super technical.
Fucking
Yeah.
insane, dude.
Dude, and
It's insane.
that's actually that was my favorite stuff to play with them. But anyway, play with Hellwitch, play with Solstice for a couple of shows and a tour, and played with Nile, Belphegor, Leaves Eyes, Incantation. Played with my own band Separamia, which is like technical brutal death metal.
Mhm.
So I think in all of this, I wanna take away that the main thing I've learned about playing in these bands is that you're dealing with a lot of really tough personalities. Some of these guys are really fucking hard. They're not soft at all. They're not trying to be your friends. They're very business mindset. And I gotta say that I'm really happy with Dripping because Sebastian. Well, I know all the Will and Ed. I've known them from Blood Tide. I love those boys. But Sebastian has been nothing but courteous, nothing but kind. It's been a really good experience being in Dripping. I'm really excited, and
Cool.
it's really cool to meet Don and Devin, and it's been fucking cool. Like the last couple of weeks with Dripping has been just really chill, really cool, and in playing music, I think the guys in here like Seb, Don, and Devin would agree. In playing music, the main thing is the people you're surrounded with. You got to be around good people. If you're not good,
I always tell Ed, I'm like, if we're not friends, we're not gonna do this. Like for me, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll shut it down, dude. Like if we're not cool, if there's like hostility, we're not doing this. Like it's not, we're like, I'm not getting rich off of this. I don't like fucking buy houses and driving Bentleys because I'm in Dripping. I do this because it's my passion. It's what I chose to do for the rest of my life.
Just Rolexes and Gazelles and Cuban links.
Yeah. That's because my sister's a jeweler. That has nothing to do with it. I get discounts. But if we're not friends, like if I'm not cool, I don't need hostility. I don't need negativity. Like I just go. Like I do not even let it enter my brain. So like with Jules, it's kind of like I was leaving Texas and we didn't have a bass player or vocalist, and I was just like, I just like randomly hit Jules up like, what are you doing? It's like nothing. It's like, you want to do Dripping? He's like, yes, send me the songs.
Yeah.
That was it. Like there's like no like nothing. He's like, and I mean he's in Spain, so he's like, he sent them the playthroughs. He recorded, and I mean Julian's a kick-ass bass player. I mean obviously you guys heard him, and
Yeah.
it fit right in,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I do.
cool, man.
Lucky. The stars aligned for once for us, you know? It's like, get a little bit of good luck before the bad luck comes.
I gotta ask you, Devin. I saw your band has been getting busy as fuck, dude. I mean, last couple of years, I noticed you guys hit the road constantly, man. So I
Yeah.
mean, you put a lot of mileage on the band. I mean, you put a lot of mileage first in the promotion when you first came out. I noticed that, and so did your label. And then after that, I noticed it was just show after fest after show after tour. So every bit of all that road work has really seemed to pay off for you guys, which is amazing, you know. With Sanguisugabogg, I mean, there's really a lot, like a lot of buzz around that shit, you know? How you, like, is it hard to juggle all those shows with home life? Is, you know, are you, you know, you guys have X amount of recordings, but you maybe like 2 albums worth, I would say, and a demo or 2.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's been sick. I mean, when, just like everyone said, you know, when you love it and you have so much fun with it, even as much as I play out, and like I counted, I'm up to 170 shows like this year, and
Wow.
Holy fuck.
and
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Yes, man. It's still the coolest fucking thing in the world. Like I love death metal so much, dude. And you know, like when you're a death metal maniac and you're diehard into it, it becomes your entire life. You immerse yourself into it, and there's not 1 second of my day that goes by my entire life that doesn't involve it to some kind of pedigree. And
same here, my man.
yeah, so I can't get enough of it, and I'll tour with anybody, dude. Like we've toured with Terror. We did the deathcore tours with like Whitechapel, Lorna Shore, which was cool, dude. Like we played Fenway Park, you know. So I'm out
That's
in,
sick.
like, yeah, I'm like out at where the Sox play, and I get to shout
Dude,
out.
I lived in New England for fucking 18 years, so that's sick as fuck. I
Beautiful,
love
man.
going to the park. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I got to, like, you know, I'm playing the Fenway Park, and I'm getting to shout out like Eternal Suffering and Scattered Remnants to
Those
a crowd of people who've never heard
are my
that shit.
fucking brothers, man. Those are my brothers.
Hell yeah. And it's still fun. And as far as home, man, you know, like I'll be getting married in April, so I got a woman that's
Congratulations.
Yeah,
thank
congrats.
you. I got a woman that's really supportive, dude. She gives me no headache because, you know, I've had to deal with stuff like that in the past. It's not fun.
Right.
But you know, my head's on right. I'm not doing no wrong. And you know,
It shows, man. I mean, you're putting
yeah.
it together, man. Like you get out there, and you know the band is. I'm sure no one can pronounce the band's name, obviously, but
I can't do it.
It's
I'm like, right? And
it took me 4 shows to get it right, you know. So
I only knew it because Roger said it to me. Like, so he
Roger
said it to
Smith.
me. Yeah, he was like, he said me the name, and then like after that, I knew it. It was just embedded in my head, and then everybody heard that fucked it up. I fixed it for them, you know.
yeah,
But I love
yeah,
the name, man,
yeah,
Nice,
it's
man.
fucking
Yeah.
sick.
and the logo too, man. Fuck. Dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, a little back shot. It looks like.
Yeah.
So I remember one day our buddy John Vecchione, right?
Yeah.
Like one day, like I'm sitting home and like we had just got dripping back together, and he sends me this video, and he's like, check these guys out. They're a mortician with a drummer. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I fucking played it, and I was just like blown away. I was like, I don't even know what to say. Like I'm just like, I was like, what? I had to go, okay, let's play it again. Let's play it again. And then I'm just, you know, YouTube, like it just, you know, unfortunately, like I don't buy a lot of hard copies, and I was like, oh my God, these guys are fucking killing it, bro. I was like, these guys are fucking crushing it. You know what I mean? Like, fucking.
Yeah.
I got to give it
sick.
to another guy who crushes it here, Don from Wake
No, that's without saying,
because,
man.
Don also, like, you've been getting pretty fucking busy, man. You have stayed and kept the core of Waking the Cadaver, like, to the core, man, you know?
Thanks, brother.
Which is, it's beautiful to see that, man, especially, you know, with the, you know, some lineups, but it feels, you know, everything feels a lot tighter now, you know what I mean? I noticed Mayo pulled a lot of the tightness together, and then your drummer pulled a lot of the tightness together, the Lord Marco there.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, like, what's going on with Waking the Cadaver? as of now.
Sure.
2024.
Yeah, I know. Well, first off, I just want to say it's really a pleasure to be in this chat with everybody, and I really respect the fuck out of everybody here, and I have a lot of time and energy invested in everybody here throughout listening pleasure, homeboys, idols, inspiration, beyond. So I just want to say, thank you guys for letting me create with you. It really means a lot.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and it's a real honor, and it's been a long time. It's been over 20 years here or something like that now, and everybody's still alive, and that's a good thing too, because we've had a lot of people drop throughout the years, and I'm like, I hope everybody's still good.
I agree with that.
But yeah,
it has been a long time, because I remember when you came to my house. You filmed a video at my house.
Yeah, we have footage. I still have it.
That was fucking sick. That was so sick.
DVD footage, bro. I still have it. It's not even released to the public and stuff.
I know. I have a couple of camera footages of that myself.
Let it rip,
bro. I remember being like a jet, like a little kid, like skipping college class to go see Waking the Cadaver play with Dying Fetus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Back in the day, and it's still around. Like, dude, proper.
I got a story about that tour too, man. Fucking Waking the Cadaver's selling merch out of trash bags, and
Jersey style.
Gutter Christ style, baby.
That's what it is. We're from Jersey, bro. Like, you can expect the worst out of us.
And seeing Don, I was just I was a load, dude. I was young, and seeing him just go up on stage playing the hardest shit and then saying, "Yo, what the fuck's up?" like that, and I'm like, this is the coolest dude ever. So, if it wasn't for seeing, like, especially the Fetus and Waking tour, like, I wouldn't be doing half the shit that I do probably today.
So right here.
Bro, Devin, man,
say hello to everybody.
I'm such a huge fan, bro.
Don't be a weirdo.
Like, I'm a huge fan of your band, and I saw you guys over here in South Jersey years back.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, I didn't get a chance to meet you, but it's a pleasure to meet you. And this was just, your band was just absolutely crushing, and I was like, first time I ever heard or seen, and Mayo was just like, yo, you got to check these fucking guys out. They rule. I was like, all right, let's fucking go. And I was just like, here's a band that got the memo.
Yeah. No, they're doing it right,
Yeah,
the recipe's there.
I have to say,
the recipe's there, bro.
For everybody, here's a band.
Yeah.
And just, it was like, you know what? Here's the meat, here's the potatoes, and everybody go fuck.
What's the name of that place? Independence? Is it in Asbury?
Yeah, it's Asbury Park.
So we were there. I think we talked, Deb, because we were there. I was there with Fury of 5. We went to see the Cro-Mags, me, Stickman, Shrine. And you're like, you're going to be there next weekend? I'm like, oh, man, unfortunately not. Like, I had to leave, so we came back down in Florida. But, yeah, I was going to go to that.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. So you guys fucking rule, and, congratulations with all the success.
Absolutely.
So it's well deserved. Real, and like everyone kind of recognizes that, like, because a lot of people in the metal scene in general, I don't want to just say death metal, but like shit goes to their head real quick, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You see a lot.
You could feel it on you, Devin, where it ain't going to your head, bro. You're still like the real deal, man.
No, absolutely not.
Just a guy.
I got a lot of respect for that, dude.
Yeah, it goes a long way for sure. And when you meet people and you can understand that you really see like how unique they are and how much they have so much passion for the music, like we all resonate with that and understand that. So I feel like to bring it back to answer your question, I feel like that's exactly what the new lineup is with Waking is not that it's better or anything like that, but it's just less stressful, and also when people can't be in the band anymore, right? And Waking has had a revolving door of band members for the whole time, and that's just what it is. So I've had to deal with a lot of things. Same thing for us. Yeah, it's what it is, but I mean, it just makes you stronger to kind of get through it, right? So coming across people's, life happens, life changes, and you have to just roll with it and be understanding. And I'm friends with some people who are no longer in the band, but I'm also not friends with a lot of people who used to be in the band, and that's also a shame as well. But the guys that are here now are so seasoned and so dialed into what waking is and what it used to be and what my vision is. Hats off to everybody who's been in the band and who has contributed and dedicated time and energy. It's been a pleasure to create with them. And I love everybody dearly, and I respect everybody. And the last album was killer. I mean, Mayo wrote
fucking amazing.
You know, thank you. Yeah. But Mayo wrote everything. He wrote the lyrics. I go up. I mean, I come into the studio and it was just totally produced. It was. I didn't know any of the lyrics. He was just like, do this, do that, say it like this, do it again. Just do it. And I was like, okay, man, this is your baby. You do the whole thing. I trust you 100,000%. This is your shit. And he fucking crushed it. And people are just like, this is insane shit, man. I was like, yeah, man, this is insane. I can't believe it. I don't even know who is this. Because I just came in there, did it, and I was like, I don't know. I hope it turns out good. And that was right after COVID and a lot of crazy shit. So people really weren't paying attention. I don't know, but the fucking dedication was there. But people have to leave. Life happens, and this band was all of a sudden reignited. To make a long story short, and somehow. There was just a lot of demand and attention. I was like, all right, let's try to meet these fucking demands. And then all of a sudden, I wind up having no Mayo, and then my other bass player, Michael Thomas, he life got busy for him. He wasn't able to do things, so it's just down to like, I'm like, all right, well now I just have a fill-in who was supposed to be John Hartman, but then he wasn't able to do it, and this was only
from Mortal Decay.
Yeah. So he was he put on the third album.
He's gonna do his second tour of duty, right?
Big up to Mortal Decay, man, and fucking Joe Gordon, man.
Joe Gordon, absolutely.
We worship those guys coming
right
up,
here?
man.
This is the new lineup, Don.
This is the new lineup, yeah. So we have, So I'm getting up to that point now, real quick. I could talk a lot.
You're good.
So the band's down because now it's just me and Marco, and and I was like, there's no band. So the band went from like literally just like totally crashed and burned. I was like, well, Hartman can't do it, and we have a lot of things booked. I don't know who's gonna be able to pick up our material and learn it in 2 months' time, and me be able to show up and not cancel and refund money and do all the bullshit and all that fucking headache, right? So I called Marco. And I was like, look, man, before we go on the stupid internet and tell people we need, that's just a fucking headache. Like, can we get this done? And he's like, let me reach out to the circle of people, see who we got in our network. I said, okay. He calls me back like 3 hours later. He's like, I think Ray can do it from 6 Feet Under. And I was like, okay, cool. He's cool.
Wow.
Like, this guy really down, Yeah, he was killer. He was in Cannabis Corpse. Ray Shuey, he's just incredible. And, long story short is we really all clicked. Our phone call was amazing. I was like, look, this is in full blown swing. We need to fucking go here. I got no time to waste. I need somebody who's solid and who can write new material and this and that. And I said, this band is so fucking hot to trot right now. I'm denying shows because I have no band right now. I was like, it's ridiculous. So. He was able to do it. We were able to make things happen, and as well as before that, to keep things fresh and popping and positive. Anthony Kosu, who used to be in Dehumanized, was in a band that we did together, side project Hate Diplomacy for a little while, and now we're together again in this project. So. It's really great to have him. He's a great brother of mine and a dear friend and very smart and an extreme writer and extremely passionate again and like lives for metal. Like total diehard. And everybody's a diehard. Everybody's at the top of their game. Anybody could play anything. I mean, we're not even doing band practices, and these guys are just showing up. We're just fucking crushing these shows like we've been fucking playing daily. And I'm like, this is shit, man. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So you know, we're good to go now, and we're writing new material, and there's already 2 songs deep, and I couldn't just be fucking happier with way
very nice
the writing is. It's just really, really nice. It's really, really powerful and punchy, and it's got this nice edge to it, and some other elements that we're going to introduce. And I'm going to do some things in here now that I want to do, sort of thing, if I could say that lightly. So do some things that you see. You hear some things come from me that you don't really hear me do in the past Waking albums, and kind of venture into these other realms of getting these ideas and these not just themes, but these characters and or these emotions to kind of engulf you. You know what I mean? Like Seb has heard some of the work I've been doing with him.
Yeah,
and he's commended me, and I don't mean to put feathers in my hat or anything here, but it's just like
you're
I didn't command it.
I will talk
We
about
just asked, bro. Like,
but it was nice to hear, you know, somebody who I respect, you know, pay such a nice compliment of, like, you know,
I gotta throw something out there, Don.
There's a lot of stuff
man.
going on. Yeah, there's a lot of broad ideas, you know, and I you know, I'm doing a lot of vocal work these days. I'm doing a lot of shit that I don't normally do, and doing these other things are making me think differently as well. And maybe I can go over here and do this with the vocals.
yeah, you have to evolve. You have to grow. You have to progress. You know.
Yeah, just kind of make progress and go out here.
You can't do the same. Like, these guys want to do Disintegration for fucking 29 years.
You don't want to be still.
And I want to be still. Bro, you're the same way, motherfucker. So don't laugh. You know what I mean? Like, you like the first incantation, and you want to repeat that forever. And like, I love it. I mean, I do too, man. I love Ronnie. That's my brother. I can't get over Onward, you know. But sometimes, you know, you just gotta. You eventually grow a little bit. Right?
Just to have a little laugh, Don. I wanted
but
to say,
Roy's like, I don't grow.
No. Listen, I wanted to laugh because, like, you know, back in the day, like when YouTube kind of first started, and Waken was like a MySpace band, and like you guys were at the top of the MySpace game. You were like the top death metal band, and then something hit, a fucking shredded wheat, you know. And I didn't know what the fuck anybody was talking about.
Well, that's because
like I was so close
small,
to
right?
the music that I didn't understand. Like, I'm like, what do they mean?
No, these
You know
kids
what I mean?
don't know death metal, and they get hit with death metal because of the technology change and the software's in their face, and they're just like, what's death metal? All of a sudden, it's right here. And they're like, I don't get this. So they make it up in their head like, this is what I'm going to term it. Do you know, I was sitting in college, and this girl come up to me from some, you know, like some art class or something, and she's like, oh, Mimi Core is the new shit, isn't it? And I was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Is here I am listening to Guttural Secrete and being like, fuck yeah. And like other people hearing this and they're like, I don't know what to call it. I couldn't tell you what it is, but I know it's reached my world. And this is how I'm going to tell you what it is. You know, like they don't know what it is. So they're just like, this is what I term it to be. But then you have the people who went the full length and was like, let me just make an entire meme of what I think it is and turn it into something funny. And little did anybody know it's got millions of views later.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't even know what it meant, man. Like I was like I was too close to the music to understand. Like I'm like, what?
Yeah, like you either got it and you know, you're either in the scene and you understand, you know, like it's abstract, you don't need words. You know, some people think it's even extra ignorant, like fuck the words.
Right.
You know,
What's for though?
Obituary, man. You know, slowly we rot.
Yeah.
No lyrics.
Yeah. You know, like kind of do what you want. There's no rules here. You know, I want to
Zero.
Yeah, I want to quote, you know, Anthony Kosu, you know, on is he really emphasizes. We have these conversations often, and I don't know what the fuck people are talking about anymore in their death metal albums. You know, people are kind of lost right now. I was like, you know what, there couldn't be anything more realer than talking about what the fuck life is right now, because it couldn't be any more fucked right now. And I think everybody's going through some hard ass times, and if you get your fucking head wrapped around that, I think you got yourself an entire album worth of material. But you got
absolutely
here
acting
like you're being hard, acting on stage, and that's not tough. I don't care what you want to call it, what it is. It's not moving me.
Right.
It's not doing anything for me. I'm not really
No.
like, holy shit, look at this guy screaming. Wow, I don't give a fuck. There's 1,000 of us screaming.
Right.
You know, when I
I feel like
read into it later on, I want to know, like, what are you giving a fuck about right now? Like, you go back and turn the page of death metal in the history of time. They're talking about the fucking cosmos. They're talking about fucking ancient civilizations. They're talking about shit that like fucking mattered. People that talking about black magic, talking about Illuminati, talking about fucking masters of the universe, talking about entity worshiping, talking about fucking sacrificing. I could go on and on and on.
Right.
Do the fucking history lesson on yourself. Read the fucking lyrics and go all the way into the fucking scene. Doesn't matter. Go all the way up at the fucking hardcore scene. They're fucking bringing it direct to your fucking face, plain as day. You ain't gotta. There's no beating around the bush. You know, First Blood. Bam, motherfucker! It is right there. You're gonna read it and understand what the fuck is going on in this country and a lot of others and how everything is fucked. And if you're not paying attention, then you're not fucking listening. So you know, this is where we're at now. Is like I'm paying attention. And I'm listening to a lot of things that are going on. I'm like, this sucks. This sucks. You know, like you missed the memo. There's a lot of bands that have got the fucking memo. But what you're writing about matters. I have people hitting me up all the time, reading your lyrics. You know, I didn't write the lyrics of the last album, but I have lyrics that I've written other things and other material. I constantly get people banging on the door. All kinds of shit about the lyrics. Doesn't matter what they are. It just matters to somebody. And so you have
that's it. That's all that matters. At least one person. If you reach one person, that's it,
so
man.
It matters. So I mean, you know, like that's all I have to say. I'm not gonna fucking rant about it, but like there's like things going on right now, and I feel like this is where I'm at right now. So I'm in a writing process right now, and I guess that's why I'm bringing it up. Is like we're talking about the new waking and whatever. Yeah. But you know, scene, like I'm involved in the scene. I'm involved heavily fucking involved, and you know,
Stormy, shut up.
You want to make sure that I'm not repeating what's done already too. Like there's so much shit that's been done already. Like the only thing you could really reach into your pocket and write about is what's going on in your fucking life too. Nobody else is living that. That's as personal as it's going to get. Make that a statement. Understand that somebody's probably going to resonate and they're going through something most likely similar. So, you know, but whatever it is like fuel that. So I feel like that's where you're going to see the new waking material come from, as well as like our world that we're in, the mindset of things, the passion that is going on between people busting down the fucking barriers of all things to unify, because we're getting fucked in every which way. So it goes on to a bigger thing, but there's shit to write about that matters, that I feel like you can see that singer is really feeling his shit, because he's fucking like burning with passion. Like I've seen some shit, and I've seen that with you. I've seen that with everybody here. And then I've seen some other shit that's really popping and got a lot of numbers online, but I'm just sitting there like this
yeah.
I don't know. You know,
I think maybe we need to let people hear the band, bro. I mean, we have a file here we could play. This is
let's do it.
Brand new too, I believe. Let me see here.
Do we got anything from NJ Deathfest? Because that fucking, I was like side of the stage, and it was like an ocean. It was like an ocean of
the ships.
song that we were writing. It's just like
All right,
that.
we're back with the members of Waking the Cadaver and Dripping, and this is
Yo,
Death
can
Metal
I say
Podcast.
something? That last slam is pretty much like, hey, motherfucker, we're from Jersey, all right? And that's it. And you're going to fucking deal with it or you're not? Because we're from Jersey, and this is how it gets done out here.
That's it.
Right, Don?
That's it, baby.
There's a
And,
lot
like,
of those parts.
We try to do the same thing, you know, but like, it's like, listen, we're from Jersey. This is how it gets done, motherfuckers.
You are
Let's
one
go.
of the most hype fucking singers I've seen in a minute, Don. I have to say, dude. Like,
yeah.
you really
Fucking-
kind of, you know,
I mean-
you got to jumping up, man.
Thanks,
That
I appreciate it.
performance.
Two of the best, bro. Two of the best,
I
man.
appreciate it.
We played that night, man.
Yeah, everybody played their ass off. That was a killer fucking
Dude, like
show, man.
50 people left the venue after you guys played.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Discord was on next. I'm not-
To Violent Vomit, Diego. Shout out to my brother, you know.
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah. I know. I just saw those guys out in Death Feast. We were headlining, right? We crushed that motherfucker over in Germany, and those poor guys flew all the way out there the next day. They were playing with the red cord.
I love the red chord.
Yeah. I was so stoked to see this. I was going to do a song with the red chord, Ant-Man. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking sick. Holy shit! And then all of a sudden, the storm comes in, and they're like, look. We can't fit anybody inside. There's only 500 people capped inside, and there's like 2,000 people here, and we got to shut it down. And it was just over. And I was like,
Whoa.
so they're not going to play? They're like, nope. I was like, you came all the way out here, and they just got there, you know, just to sell some T-shirts and then go home. I was like,
Who to Violent Vomit?
yeah.
Oh, that's sick. I would have shared my set with them, but you want to hear something
There was
crazy?
no time. They were like, it was over. Everybody had to like.
We played with the red chord back in 2000, and this guy, we're up in like New Hampshire, and he slept in a car. He almost died like Bon Scott. I stayed at a guy's house. We slept at a guy's house. We played in Taunton, Mass, and then we went to New Hampshire to sleep, and it was a basement with like no heat, and I couldn't get this fucking guy out of the car because he was drunk. It was us, Eternal Suffering, and the Red Chord.
Was that the night when I tried Hennessy for the first time? I was like 17. I didn't know that you couldn't.
He starts drinking
down
Hennessy.
to
He's like, yo, bitch, you don't like Louis Armstrong? Get the fuck out.
I was watching the Ken Burns jazz
That was
documentary
fucking
on
mangled,
PBS,
bro.
and I
It
was
was just like-
I was going like down the
But,
rabbit hole. I was obsessed with jazz.
Rest in peace, Brian from Eternal Suffering, man. And it's like I talked to Billy, I talked to Chad, and I begged them. I'm like, I know you live, because my daughter lives up in New England. Like, I beg them, I'm like, please, if you start Eternal Suffering, please let me be the guitar player. And they're like, of course, bro. Of course you're gonna play guitar for us if we do it. I know Chad's got some back issues, and he's gonna try to work through them, and he's gonna get back on the kit. Maybe I'm saying too much that they don't want me to say, but I'm so excited. And
If I remember correctly, I had booked the Eternal Suffering Dripping shows through like MySpace or AOL chat or some shit.
Yeah.
We met the guys from Eternal Suffering in the Unholy Metal.
No, we met him at a Metal Meltdown.
Okay.
Right? So we met him at the first Metal Meltdown on Asbury Park, and then we were chilling with him, and God rest his soul, my friend Ian. It was me, you, Ian, and Shadows Fall went on.
Yeah.
And then the singer, no, it wasn't Shadows Fall. It was like a band that went on, and the singer for Shadows Fall was like drunk and acting stupid, and I think he bumped into you. And then fucking Ian jumped on him with the crutches, and I'm not gonna incriminate you, Roy Fox. I don't want you to go to jail, but I remember what you did. I remember the dude like fucking.
I remember what you did actually, and then you hit the promoter actually, and then me and you had to fucking hang out with our fucking hoodies over our faces just to stay
because they wanted us out of the fest. Yeah, we were just like misfits though, but that was
like,
us. But
I'm like, yo, you just punched the fucking promoter in the face of the fest, dude. Like, and me and you like put our hoodies on and
you know, like the fucked up part, like where we grew up in like such a weird neighborhood with like a different dynamic. It was just kind of like, you know, you always had to be on your guard. It was a mixed culture community. We were friends. Like the funny thing that I always could remember, one of our friends, Willie D, he's humongous into electronic music. So there was this club, the Limelight, and they played like techno and like house music and hip hop in the other room. but it was like mortician, suffocation, and anal con. So I'm like, hey, Willie, come to a show with me. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll come to a show with you. The dude was like into hip hop. He didn't listen to metal or nothing. So we go to that show and we watch, and I'm watching Suffocation and Mortician, but he went into the other room and he watched like a DJ. And since that day, he's been into like electronic music, like heavy to the day. Like he never heard it before that, you know. So it was cool shit.
I remember
like,
he wandered out actually and started watching the death metal show because I was standing right next to him. Dude.
Roy, like we couldn't explain, like for us to explain things because it's like Ronnie from Incantation was a graffiti artist, and people would be like, "How did Ronnie from Incantation write graffiti?" Like, and a lot of people who are closed-minded that are like, "Well, graffiti is for like black people or people in hip hop," but like Ronnie was a fucking graffiti artist.
So
you know
East
what I mean?
Coast
like,
and West
I grew up
Coast
with
are
Ronnie.
different
you know,
fucking
like,
animals for some weird reason. Because like if you have the East Coasters, like New Yorkers, and you have the LA people, we all can accept hip hop as part of our fucking life.
Well,
basically.
anything,
It's
even
in
like
the
we'll listen
fucking
to Bob
cars.
Dylan. I mean,
Exactly. But like we could accept it. But for some reason, a large swath of the death metal scene and black metal scene and shit, they don't want to accept that this is like a music form. You know what I mean?
Music's music, man.
They're closed-minded. That's
A little
why.
bit,
Very
you
much,
know?
very much so. Yeah.
Hey, but even when Drippin' played in Boston, we stuck out like sore thumbs, bro. We were thugged out. It was the winter, you know what I'm saying? We had bubble gooses on.
Yeah, we were like,
I had gold teeth in and
What up, Craig?
all that shit back then. So.
Oh shit.
Yo, what's up, Craig?
Yeah, man.
Disma.
Ronnie was in the fucking hood, dude, you know?
Fucking Craig was from fucking Plainfield.
There's Frank
Yo,
Vector, too.
what's up? That's my fucking brother right there, man.
Yeah, man.
Yo, listen,
Shout out Craig Pillard for fucking Incantation, dude.
Yo, the crazy thing is, like, when we're going up to do that upstate New York and Boston in Middletown, New York run, like, we didn't have a car, so we're driving in Dave's car. So we, like, fucking, it was like me, Bruce, and Tom, and Dave, and Frank Blakely. But Frank lived up north. He was our old singer. So the minute we get in the car, we fucking take 2 hits of acid, bro. Now we're tripping our fucking balls off. We get pulled over by the cops. Dave's tripping. The cops like shining the light, you know? Shining the light. He's like, get the fuck out of the car. We all get taken out of the car, you know? He's like digging in the trunk of his Eldorado Cadillac, and he's like looking at the engine. He's like, you guys on fucking drugs? We're like, no, sir. We're not on anything, you know? So we fucking get on the road, you know? And like, the fucking acid wore off. So we're all sleeping. So Dave's playing like jazz. He's playing like the Dave Brubeck or a Chick Corea, and then like Frank Blakely would sneak out the tape because it was a tape deck back then, and then he'll pop it out and he'll put like the demos, you know what I mean? Like he would put like the Rochefort demos, and then we would wake up to like fucking like Rochefort demos. We're like, oh, what the fuck, bro? Like I thought we were listening to jazz, but no, it was a cool story, man. You know, we had a good time.
I don't remember getting pulled over on acid. I remember the time.
It was at the Belleville Nutley. It's a Belleville Lyndhurst Bridge. We got pulled over.
It wasn't the time with Callahan in the park. Remember, we were tripping balls that time.
No, that was. I mean, there's 1,000 times.
So
because the jelly tabs, it didn't hit me that hard, so I wasn't. Really
that's where we played in Middletown.
That's why. Yeah.
We played in Middletown, New York, in a dripping. Not that we're like, you know, we go to Middletown, New York to play a show, and it's like a fucking barn, you know, and it's like this.
I gotta say this.
Yeah, well, I was about to bring that up too, because remember there were like those 2 hip hop kids there, and they saw how we were dressed, and they were like all souped up and shit.
Yo, so listen, Frank Blakely takes a fucking tab, and we go to the pizzeria, and he goes, I think the tab's hitting me. So he's like, we're setting up, right? We're setting up. We're like all setting up on stage. The sound man's getting our sound ready. So they're playing like Cypress Hill.
Hits from the bong. And
hits from the bong. He jumps on the mic and he sings hits from the bong in like a death metal voice. You know what I mean?
He was.
Roy, you know Frank, though, bro.
He was already. He was tripping. He was commandeering the whole whatever that shit was, like a barn or some shit. I don't know. But he was on one, bro. He was the master of ceremonies with he was singing Cypress Hill.
I tell Ed all the time, you know, and Dev, I know you got a lot of you got more mileage than me, and so do you, Don, and so do you, Jules. But you know, like I tell Ed, like when we were younger, it was hard, you know, because we would drive to a town and we would get there, and it was like the bands, you know, and at the end of the night, the guy would give you like $45, you know, and you were just like, yo, what the fuck, dude, and like no one showed up, and you just like drove like 20 miles from your house. You had nowhere to sleep. You're eating ramen noodles.
Couple hundred
you know,
miles.
You're sleeping in a car. Like we're on a fucking. It was just crazy. It was a different world, you know.
No.
Not
It's
that you guys didn't do that. Not that you guys didn't do that.
It's still the
many
same world.
like that.
It's
It
still
is?
the same. Dude, I remember there was the second tour I did with Nile. The first show was maybe 10 people.
What's
Maybe.
the matter with Carl? He don't share the wealth.
Oh. Devin,
No, he doesn't.
You want to?
Sorry, I'm a wise ass, bro. My bad.
No. But we showed up and we were already kind of like weird out about it because they were like, yeah, these are B markets. It's not gonna be that good of a tour. First show in, it's maybe 10 people, and I was like, really? All right, I guess this is band practice, you know, like whatever. And but then the rest of the tour, it was like every other show was like really fucking good. But it's still
That's
happens.
good.
It happens to everybody. Happens to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
any new
unfortunately, it happened to us before like cell phones existed. So it's always the only thing we got is like our memory, right, Dave?
Yeah.
There's like no camera phones. It was just like we
There's
just
no
show up.
cameras, right? We didn't take photos or nothing.
We didn't have a phone either, you know.
Yeah.
Just like
Very
Different.
little cameras, like very little band shots, very little like. There'd be
yo,
like
shout
one
out to
grainy-ass
fucking
band shot.
Eternal Suffering, man.
Yo,
those are my brothers.
Can I go off topic and talk about phones and Nile real quick?
Absolutely.
I got a
Oh
funny
no!
ass
Here
story.
we go. Here we go.
I got a couple of them. So the first time I saw Nile, I was 16, and they played at this it's like a country bar, but they also have like DJ night and stuff. So they call it hip hop, you know. And nobody was there. It had 7 local bands, and then Nile played, which is crazy. Like a bunch of pay to play type of stuff going on. And Carl Sanders is ripping cell phones out of people's hands. Tell him he doesn't want pictures, he doesn't want video. He's like, I'll kick you out. Like
No fucking shit.
He's interrupting Dallas's banter like the whole night, like talking over him, like. And I'll get to where I also toured with Nile and had to deal with a lot of crap too, not from my end, but I'll get there. The second time I saw Nile was like, it was my first time back in Cleveland after my 21st birthday. So we got like lit as hell like that whole night, and I ended up getting carried out of the show because I was so hammered and I was swinging on people and like acting a fool. And
That sounds like a carny night.
It was a great night. And then from what I remember of it, which is the worst thing, because like I even drove to my friend's house after that, which is dumb as hell. But aside from that, don't do that. Aside from that,
kids don't do that.
We tour with.
Babe, can you make me a Jack and Coke?
We tour
Thanks,
with Nile
bro.
and Incantation.
Love you.
On our first ever support tour, and they're sharing
9 o'clock.
They're sharing a bus together, and I can't remember his name. He plays in False Prophet. It's a bass player.
Scott. Yeah.
So Scott's filling in for Chuck for Incantation, and we're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at Pierre's. It's funny. This is where I met my fiance. Same show, and Scott gets out of, and if you have ever met Scott, he's like 5'0" nothing. He's like a short guy, harmless guy, nicest dude in the world. He gets out of the shower and Carl barges in there and rear naked chokes him.
No shit.
Because he thinks that Scott drank his Coca-Colas on their tour bus, and they were trying to sabotage the entire tour. So now that like I see that they're touring, this is like their first U.S. tour since that tour, which was over 2 years ago, almost three years ago, and they were such a pain in the ass to deal with. Like, I remember going up to McEntee at like the end of the show in Greensboro, and I was like, all right, dude, we're about to swing on them for you.
What did he say? Hey, okay, stop.
So
Don't do that, bro.
He starts laughing, and then he's like, wait, you serious? Like that. And I was like, you tell me, dude, so. But I mean, we were the band that was in like Everyone's Good Gracious. I mean, we were only getting paid like $200 a night, which as far as like a 2 or 4, it's really nothing,
It's like $20 a person.
Exactly. With also like no buyouts, no green rooms, even though they had green rooms for us, like, and they were so, all right, so like after COVID, like when we toured, we worked on a like don't ask, don't tell, like kind of operation, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see me cough, no you didn't, like type of deal. And
because COVID. Because
COVID.
Yeah.
So
must have been hard.
Like, yeah, and I want to tour for 6 weeks, dude. So like, if I have to hang out in the van after being on stage, like I will. I'll isolate.
That's fucking that's real. That's real, brother.
What I'm saying? And doing vocals, getting sick. I never tested positive, but like doing vocals with like bronchitis and shit, you know it, Don. Like it's hard as hell. You could tear the lining in your throat, and like all kinds of stuff. It sucks. But Carl is like masked up. He makes everyone mask up. He told McEntee that McEntee wasn't allowed to take pictures with fans, that he wasn't allowed to hang out at their merch booth, like was being like a huge like fly on
the
shit.
guy, the guy looks like he should take care of. I mean, no offense, but he looks like he should take care of his health a little better. Maybe hit the treadmill, lose some weight.
But you know what sucks is like
I'm such an asshole.
for like how like crappy he's kind of a turd, dude. But like no matter
it sounds like
every 2 or 3 years they put out an album that I'm like, yo,
dude, I'm fucking fire, right?
It's sick.
I know.
They got the sickest drummer. They always have the sickest like lineup every other record. And then what's funny too is like a year later, I do like stagehand stuff like at this venue down the street from where I live, and I did a Sept show, and Narcotic Wasteland was playing, which is Dallas, totally like the other band. Dallas is like drunker in hell, and he recognizes me, comes up and starts talking to me, and I was like, yeah, dude, like I saw you guys. I saw you with Niall when I was a kid. I was like one of the first Bogg shows we opened up for Narcotic Wasteland. And Dallas was just like, you toured with Niall like a year ago. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I heard about the rear naked choke when Scott was naked, like incident. Like, dude, like anytime they like find out like we did that tour, like anybody, like Jason Kaiser, Ross Dolan, like a bunch of people like asked me about that situation if it actually went down, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like we were like outside the door like when it was happening, and then we didn't find out about like what really went down until like a couple days later when Luke told me at the bar.
The Coca-Cola story.
The
Coca-Cola.
Dude,
fucking
I was in
Coca-Cola.
Italy. I was in Italy, and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, everybody heard about the Coca-Cola."
Damn. That's crazy.
Give a shout out to Craig Pillard, because I think in 1991 I went to see Incantation at the East Side High School cafeteria, and if Craig is on, he could fucking respond, dude. They played high school dance. It was Ronnie, Craig, I think Jim,
John,
and fucking. Dude, it was sick. It was because my cousin lived in Newark. I lived in Kearney. And it was like a fucking... Dude, it was a high school dance, and Incantation did 4 songs, bro.
What?
With Craig Pillard.
I remember that.
Fucking instant. Can you imagine, like, it might have been 91. 91. Like, can you imagine how bizarre that was? And they can't, like, you know how Craig sings, dude. The fucking
Listen,
one
you
of
know
the
what was
best
funny
vocalists
about
in the
that
game.
shit?
You know,
Ronnie didn't even fucking go to school, so like he barely went to the high school
Listen,
at all. He would
so
just go
my
there
cousin-
and hang out. And then
Ronnie
he was able
lived
to
in Newark.
invade the fucking dance and play the fucking show.
And
which
my
is
cousin
amazing.
lived in Newark, and I met Ronnie because he was in the Newark newspaper because he beat like Ninja Gaiden, like the fucking video game, you know? Like, so they put him on the newspaper. Frank was there. Dude, East Side High School cafeteria. I think they played 4 songs. McCleary was there, Billy Venner.
I was
and
there.
then like it was you were there. Like, you know, I didn't even know you. I mean, we all lived in the same neighborhood, but I remember seeing you guys in school, and that was fucking hard. I mean, like
Were the high
anything
school
Greg
kids
does,
fucking
you know.
with it?
You know, Disciples of Mockery and fucking Disma's fucking hard, dude. Like that shit's
yeah.
fucking, you know,
Yeah.
keeping
Well,
that real style, man.
Were the high
Well,
school kids?
you had Venner
Mhm.
too, you know, from Carmel.
Oh yeah, you had like, because it was kind of like like Newark is like a culture. There's like these fucking black girls there. There was like a DJ, and then like all of a sudden Incantation went on, you know. There was like fucking Rob Bass, like, you know, it takes 2 to make a thing go right, and then it's like all of a sudden Incantation. It's like, boom.
Yeah, that was wild.
You know what I mean? It was fucking nuts, bro. Nuts.
Yeah, it
In the
was.
fucking East Side High School cafeteria, in the gym or cafeteria, I don't know. One of the two.
That's sick.
It's been a long time. But
Makes me a little mad for Incantation, man. Like, talk about a band that I don't think they ever got their dues, man. Like, they are such a big influence, and they never got as big as they should be. Like we the one tour I did with them was with Decapitated, and it was fucking awesome. But like, people were complaining that Decapitated was headlining and not Incantation.
I respect them a lot. I don't listen to anything but Onward for me and like the demo, but I gotta say, I remember like back in the day going to a show with like Eddie from Snag, Oscar from Ceremonium, and like Incantation went on. It was like Studio One. We're all fucking in the pit wrecking shit, and you know McEntee's like, "Come on, guys, this isn't fucking an agnostic front pit. Relax." He's like, "Relax, guys." Right? Remember that? He's like, "Relax. You know, you're hurting my fans. You know, we're just young kids who just wanted to have fun. That's all. You know."
I feel like I feel like they got kind of screwed over, man. Because like when they were on Relapse originally, like Relapse Records was like the thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then they started signing like Neurosis and like Mastodon, and like they moved towards this like kind of deserty, like stonery rock type stuff, and they kind of got screwed over. You know, they were like swept under the bed a little bit.
I don't know. I think they're still pretty big, man.
Yeah,
I think now they're finally getting out there. But like, one thing too that I'll say real quick, because somebody said it on the chat. If you ever get the chance to play with Incantation or like work with them, dude, talk about the sweetest dudes and the best.
No, I can see that.
The
I
best
can see that.
time, literally the best time you'll ever have on tour is
Top-
with those dudes. They're fucking awesome.
Top 3 bands I've ever toured with, man. You know, like Kyle Severn. He lives in the town that I live in, and like used to live just a couple streets over from me. So like I went to like Incantation shows like a lot. They relocated to Cleveland when they got Daniel Corchata like in the band, and they were based out that way like for a while, and then they got Kyle with that lineup, and Kyle lived in Cleveland and then moved to Columbus. So I was going to I remember having to get like one of them to jump my car because my piece of shit car wouldn't start like at the end of a show, and they were so cool. They were like totally down to like hook up the jumper cables to their van and like get my car back up and running and stuff. And when I toured with them, I'm like punishing them the whole time, man, because like the Bog demo, like I listened to a lot of like Chasm, Disma, Undergang, Incantation, like really heavy. So it's cool to have Craig on the chat. Like,
I remember the day the
he's a
Disma
huge
came out. You
inspiration.
sent me a message. You're like, "Yo, can you send me that Disma?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, cool, man. That's good."
The
It
first
took me like fucking 2 months to get my Disma record.
Real quick, have you ever heard of a place called Churchill's in Miami?
We all did, yeah.
For sure, for sure.
So Churchill's at one point when I was going to Churchill's as a kid, and I was like, I don't care who's playing, I'm just gonna go because every show was awesome, and I saw Disma first, so I saw fucking just as soon as I started, I was like, holy fuck! And then Incantation came like a month later because Roger Speed Freak brought them down, and dude, I'd never heard Incantation until I saw them at that show, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, it was packed too. It was like over 600 people, 700 people in a 500 capacity room. With fucking brutal shit. Like, dude, that's the real underground. Like, when you see bands like that, it's like, it's over. Like, what else you gonna do? Fucking brutal shit.
And I love it that they stayed off the radar. You know, they're like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah, no Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Billy's my next door neighbor. So like I grew up next to Billy, and I'm like, send me a Disma shirt, you know? Because I'm an asshole. Like I want controversy. I'm just gonna fucking wear it, you know? And like I want get mad at me, and I get my Disma record, and I just like fucking post it on my Instagram. And everybody's like, "This isn't happening, fucking racist." I was like, I don't know. I don't ask them. None of my whatever they choose to believe is none of my issues. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I just love it. It's like fucking the music's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like can't get harder than that. It's one of the hardest bands out there. I mean, Craig is just like his vocals. It's like, you know.
I was just saying, Venner. I remember when Venner joined, and then he was playing. Learning the riffs in my grandmother's basement or whatever. So, like, he came to my house, and I was actually I was in a band with Vinny from Evokin at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were called Embalmed Corpse, and like we would try to play like Terrorizer, Fear Napalm covers and shit. Sick. And then like we weren't playing or whatever, and then McEntee and Venner came over, and like I remember them sitting on the couch, and John was teaching Bill how to play like Profanation or whatever, and then he drew the logos and all this shit, and he wouldn't want to mail them, he would give them to me to mail them to McEntee for some reason. And I saw every iteration of the Incantation logo, so I saw it from the first sketch to the final fucking thing, you know.
Yo, Billy did the Cadaverman logo, man.
I remember that. Yeah, he did the Cadaverman logo. I mean, you had Bill was kind of one of the top dog old school tape traders living right next to you. You know,
yeah.
Seb?
I mean, I know his whole family. I know his sister. I know his mother. You know what I mean?
Bill had roots like writing to bands and like writing for like Sacred Reich demos and fucking Legacy demo and like all these old fucking. You know what I mean? Like the oldest thrash band demos. So that being your fucking neighbor, I mean, I'm assuming that, you know.
I mean, you're my neighbor too, man.
I know. So we lived like right away.
I got to do a wrap up because my wife wants to go out. So I got to take her out. Well, so anyway, Jules, you know, Dev, fucking thank you so much. Very grateful for everything you do, stuff. Man. Like,
I'm gonna play some more music. I'm gonna stay live.
I mean, you guys could stay on. Watching. Just for anybody who wants to know, you know, Jules is with us. I mean, he's very busy with Belfagor. Whenever he can make it back to America. And listen, dripping has no rules. We just kind of like whatever the universe does, it'll do. I think the way Don, correct me if I'm wrong, I was just kind of like, Don, hey man, we're doing this. If you're available, you can sing for us, and if you're not, no big deal. We're not gonna get mad at you. And it's like, if we can just ride this out and just push Stripping, because I mean, to me, he's like the biggest fit. Like, I love to have the guy forever, but I know
isn't that kind of the Dripping tradition anyway? Like, you guys never had one
like,
front man.
No,
you had a
front
man every fucking
like,
time, and you had no lyrics.
Yeah, it's like we never have a front man. It's like whoever goes, but like, no, I feel like Don is like the perfect fit. Like, it's like two Jersey people, like, you know, and you know, we hope that he can do as much as he can with us, and the day he can, we're not gonna be mad at him. There's no hostility. We're still a brother, you know. And like I said, priorities are family, Waking the Cadaver, and if you got some time, you know, we'll do Dripping. So again, I never announce anything officially because like it doesn't make any sense, you know. We'll just do what we do.
things change, sometimes. So
Yeah, things change. Things happen.
this is the first time I had a death metal podcast where I had multiple people on again. So it's been pretty cool to talk with all you guys and get a lot of your little underground like tour stories, and shit.
Yeah,
And,
I love this shit, man. I think
thank you for joining us too, Devin. Appreciate you, man.
Yo, I gotta
know
tell
you're
you
busy.
one last crazy story, right? So I think it was like in Gorge, Kyle played at Hartley's, and I don't know if you guys know Gutter. Well, Don knows Gutter, right? And Dave knows Gutter. So Gutter was like completely fucking wrecked, but Frank Vaca, who's Ronnie Dio's cousin, was trying to calm Gutter down. So he's giving him shots of tequila, like he's like, calm down, but he would give him a shot of tequila. So like Engorge was playing. So Gutter walks up to this, and Ronnie Dio was playing bass for Engorge, And Gutter goes up to the stage and he just fucking pukes. It's like, projectile vomit. But at the same time, the club was like painting the walls. So they had like one of them 5-gallon buckets of like white paint, white wall paint. And the club was like black tile floor. He opens that fucking gallon, he takes a mop, and he's painting the floor of the club, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, he's fucking insanity. Like, we got to get that guy one day. We got to get him, and we got to get Oscar from Ceremonium, man. Deb, you heard Ceremonium?
Do like a New Jersey only thing on here or something, right? We did one. We did that post NJ Death Fest, but I think we're due to have like
I was so fucked up on shrooms I couldn't talk. I was like beep beep beep. I was like a Teletubby,
And it would be cool if Devin, if we could get your band on here too, man. That would be dope.
For sure, man.
I know you guys have a lot of different projects and everything. What is the future for you guys? You got a new record on the works, or what do you do? Obviously, you just came off a tour with Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
I just dropped this Earthburner EP.
That's fucking fire.
Thanks, man. And last week we actually started writing new Bog material. Coming out with a new album. It's going to be called Hideous Aftermath, and it's it's all about, every song is about what happens after I kill somebody. So
very kind of you.
Whole theme,
Okay.
And but yeah, stoked. We got like one headliner booked for next year, and then a couple fest appearances. We're playing like New England metal and hardcore, which I was not allowed to say, but oh well. And
hey Devin, I love that you do that. I love that you cross over, man. I'm with that, and like I always tell Don, I'm like, guys, we're not gonna change our style, but like I like to cross over a little bit because I'm a hardcore kid too,
E-Town, NJ Bloodline.
Oh,
Bayway's killing it.
I lived with Reek from NJ Bloodline. Those are my brothers, 3 or 5,
close to these people, some of these.
Yeah, Reek lived at my house, for so many years. Like, those are my brothers,
East Coast is Beast Coast, dude. It's got the best stuff.
Yeah, we always, like, myself, I could speak probably for Sebastian here, too. Like, and Don, too. Like, I mean, we had no problem going to
my wife's, like,
shows.
yelling at me. She's like, take me out to dinner.
We had no problem going to hardcore shows.
Yeah, we had no. Listen,
so we would go as a bunch of death metalers and just go to the fucking hardcore.
I'm talking to Zach from Bulldoze, right? Because like me and so I'm trying to get like dripping Bulldoze in South Florida. You know what I mean? Like just to like make it happen. And I fucking love Bulldoze. Like for me, hardcore kid. I like everything, but. What about you, Jules? Let's just give it up to Dripping Space Player. Let's.
Well, no, I was actually gonna say before you left, like it's really cool to be here with you, Seb and Ed, and thank you, Roy, and thank you, Devin, Don, David, all of y'all. Y'all are fucking badass. Really,
thank you guys
for everyone
man.
Tuned in to Death
really
Metal
cool
Podcast
to be
too.
Really
hey,
everybody.
So hopefully the 4 of us will be together at Maryland Death Fest.
That's my next gig. I don't have anything planned until that.
Maybe we'll be together New Year's Eve. Don, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I really.
I mean, I have to talk to my wife because like she likes to have our time. So it's hard when you're married, But
I said I was available, so if you want to,
I
Can't
know,
wait
but
till Denver
he's
to see
available, babe.
Earthburner, Devin, in a few weeks.
is that what you wanted to hear?
Yo,
So we're gonna
Earthburner,
let Sebastian go, but I'm gonna take it to the chat real
fucking
quick.
Jeremy,
If anybody has any
dude,
questions.
Broken Hope, humongous fan. If you ever talk to Jeremy, we have a mutual friends that he's friends with, Metal Damien. I think Jeremy spent some time in Miami.
Yeah, he's going back and forth right now.
Okay, so I think like
Rudy
I want to say what I've heard, like his wife or himself, they have like a house like on South Beach or something.
Yep.
Yeah, like they're like well off or whatever, and like I know they have a house in Chicago. So I'm in Chicago at my brother-in-law's house a lot, and I like my boy Damien. You know Metal Damien, right? Yeah, so Damien's like, just fucking hit him up, dude. Just say hello, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm shy, I don't know. But anyway, Dad,
dude,
tell him,
totally
huge
chill.
fan of fucking Broken Hope, dripping. Like we fucking study those guys.
Chill. Like he's totally cool.
But the Earthburner, dude, the Napalm Death, Broken Hope, fucking dude.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
Crush that shit.
What label is that on? Century Media?
Oh, it's M Theory, so it's Marco who used to run Century Media.
Oh, Marco.
Yeah, like forever ago, and we got Mitch Harris on, the whole album. We got Ross Dolan on the first song.
That's sick, bro.
Sick.
And then
you got Ross and
Ross is on the first
Immolation.
From Immolation.
Sick.
Dude, how many times? Fox. How many times was I like, can I ever get Ross? 2 people that I ever wanted: Scott Ruth, maybe 3. Scott Ruth from Ripping Corpse, Will,
nice.
and I'm like, Will, I really need you on the new drip. And he's like, yeah. He's like, how the fuck are we gonna do it, brother? Like, he's like, hey, you're gonna have to come to my house. It's like, I don't. He's like, I can't even work a fucking flip phone. And it's like, So with Will, like, he's like, I would have to drive to Will's house with my laptop and get him on the vocals. And I'll do it, like, nothing against it, but like, Raw Immolation's one of my favorite bands.
Same.
Sick as fuck.
And you guys too, man. Love you guys, man. Thank you, man.
Love you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Don. And thank you for bringing Don. Thank you for talking about the Waking the Cadaver like themes and lyrics and shit, because I don't think that's ever been like really approached.
I could talk for hours, bro.
Cool
we have
to
to
hear
do this
about that.
again. We'll have to do this again.
Yo, you gotta have a Awaken fucking show.
Well, I'm
going
gonna
to
ask a few questions in the chat if anybody.
Yeah, I'm hanging out for a
even
little
if
bit
Sebastian leaves here, Does
Even
anybody
if
have any death metal podcast watchers have any questions for these guys while they're still on stage or what?
You can stay.
What's up?
So Ed can stay at my house and he can lock out when he leaves. Me and Tia, I gotta go. But
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you can hang here, right, babe? Ed can
maybe
hang.
Ed will be more involved with the chat too. Anyway.
Yeah.
Order him a pizza or something.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there's fucking spaghetti and meatballs in there. You want a fucking pizza? Get him a pizza. Yeah, Ed can hang out. You guys can run it as late as possible. Love you guys, man. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Dev, dude, you're the fucking man. Stand up, dude. Don, you already know what it is.
Everybody,
man.
watch out for the new song with Dev on it.
Fox,
and Don.
Jules, love you, Jules. And Dave, he's just a fucking scumbag. That's all. Good night, guys.
Good night, brother.
All right, so the chat has a few questions that are starting to roll in here now.
The garage when you're done. Oh yeah, you just call me. I'll open the garage and you leave when you're ready. Stay on the interview.
All right, Sebastian. Let me see here.
Yeah,
Let me put Sebastian's mic on mute. Ed, I'm just gonna mute Sebastian for a second, right? All right, cool. So, can Don talk about the first time Roy watched you practice? You remember that, Don?
Yeah, I do remember because
I talked about that on the show.
I was talking about that today with my girl. I was like, "This is Roy." This is how I remember meeting Roy. I was like, "Well, I wanted, Gutter was like, maybe Roy want to sign you, but he gotta see the band." I was like, "All right, hell yeah!" But I was actually not sounding my best at all, and I actually was like sounding like shit. And I was like, "Oh man, I was sounding so good the other day, and now I'm not sounding good." I don't know. I guess I didn't warm up.
I remember you told me that out after.
Yeah, remember? I was just like, I sound like shit, man.
You're
I'm
like,
so sorry.
that wasn't that good for me.
I was like, I usually sound really good. And I'm like, I sound like absolute shit now, but I was really stoked. It was like an opportunity, a big opportunity in my eyes to be involved in with anybody who is so true to the scene. And here I am, just like breaking into the scene, with this band that many people like and a lot of people don't like. So I didn't really
at
know
that
if a lot of
time,
people were going to be fucking with this band or not.
yeah, at that time, I'm gonna put my side on things too.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
I had not heard you at all. So basically, Gutter told me, he goes, "Yo, I met this really cool band outside a show. We smoked blunts all night, all this shit, right?" He's like, "They're popping on MySpace super hard." I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, man, you want to go meet them, bro? They're really cool, dude. They're gonna have a practice." I'm like, "All right, cool, fuck it, let's do it." So we drive to your practice place. I remember this vividly, man. We drive to your practice place. I'm meeting you guys for the first time, you know what I mean? Then you guys play, you just start playing some songs,
Right.
And I remember, like, you guys played, like, whatever songs you had. You had, like, 4 songs maybe total at the time.
Probably, yeah.
You played, like, 4 songs, right? And you guys just, like, stopped afterwards, and you just, like, all, like, looking at me, kind of. And I'm like, I go like this. I go,
is that good enough?
No, I go, yeah, I was like, "Yo, can you play that first song again, dude?" And then you are all like, "Oh shit!" And then you fucking started playing the first song again, or the second song, or whatever. Like, can you play that song again, man?
Nice.
Which at the time too, and I had said this on Death Metal Podcast, basically, like, a lot of people have questioned, like, why did you put "Waking the Cadaver" on Necroharmonic? Because, like, all your releases are like this old school fucking incantation, or some Swedish death metal shit. And I said, you know what, man, there was something I had seen that day that reminded me of old Ripping Corpse and how innovative they were at the time.
Right.
So, like, that's what I had seen in you guys at that time.
Wow, I appreciate it.
And I came into it without knowing anything about the band at all.
That's
and
cool.
then I went home and I went on fucking MySpace and I seen fucking thousands of motherfuckers were fucking with you guys, and I was like, holy fucking shit, man. And you only had like 2 songs out or whatever.
Yeah. I think this was the right place at the right time with a different thing going on in life, and we just happened to be like right there. And what I think what we were doing at the time, you were able to copy and paste code and just kind of run it however you wanted it. And I was savvy to this, so I was like, okay, let me go make some cool animations for the band. I'm a graphic designer, animator, developer, so I'm self-sufficient. I'm sitting here doing the shit, making creatives, early days,
right?
And just doing stuff, just having fun with my band, like just literally, like, in my head, I'm like, just doing my thing. And then I don't know, I guess it must have hit some sort of, I don't know, I guess it hit the right amount of people. I don't know.
It hit a nerve of the things you see today. People with pierced fucking noses, colored hair, tattoos on their face. Not even. Like, that didn't even hit at that point. But it was hitting those fans back then.
Yeah. Some people were really, I mean, I've seen some diehard shit with the tattoos. I mean, I've been to Europe and I've seen people with just body tattoos of Waking the Cadaver logos on artwork. Even guys here in South Jersey, the band Nine Dead, these guys have tattoos of the Waking artwork, full sleeve logos. One guy, people online have their face tattoos with the Waking logo on their face. I was like, this is insane, man.
No, I'm saying, like, your fans at the time were revolutionary, because you had all the kids with the swooped fucking hair.
Totally
shit
different, yeah.
Before it was a thing,
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Yeah, it's like a whole movement,
right?
Like going on, and it's just like all happening at the same time. Nobody knew what it was. They just knew something going on is different. We have this tech, and now we're going to put this tech to, you had AOL. It's all you really fucking had. You had this shit chat, which people are getting fucking molested on and shit. Like, nobody's trusting this shit no more. So you move into this shit over here, and all of a sudden you have some control, you have some identity, you have some face, you have some value. You can show your worth. You can show your music, express yourself. Nothing wrong with this. This is what people want right now. There's people trying to reinvent this concept now, but they're just not nailing it down. People just want control over creativity. And when people can express that, I feel like that's where people were like, man, this was the shit. I could show off who I am, you know, like your locker, you know, it's like your locker.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like your shit here. You're like, well, that's me, bro.
Your favorite
all
8 friends or whatever, right?
Slinky's falling down. I don't know, but that's me, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, if you think about it, MySpace was like, you know, Facebook took the niche that MySpace had, but MySpace didn't have an algorithm that like made you argue with people and shit like that.
Sure,
Everything on MySpace, you just connected with the people that you had shit in common with. You know, whether it was, you know, people trying to hook up, and it was like the uncensored way that X is now. If you applied that to Facebook, that's kind of what you would get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all about that music
It was a wild
player.
west. It was a free for all. Like people
it was all about that
nudes and the
music
message
player,
boards
though.
and everything. Nobody gave a fuck on that shit. You know.
On MySpace, man, it was all about having that little fucking music player. So like you used it for your band. You used it for your band. But the rest of us were using it as fans. So we would be like, yo, you have to hear this.
Yeah,
you
check
know?
this out, right?
Check this fucking band out.
Yeah,
And,
you
and
only
the
had
top,
your top 8.
top 8 people, right?
And it was before the Bandcamp thing happened, right?
Yes,
like,
well before.
There was a lot of bands that I was like, that, you know, as when you're growing up and you're going in MySpace, you get into these bands and then you connected with them. Like you would message and talk to them. Hey, when are you coming to USA? When are you coming to New
Yeah, it
Jersey?
was actually, I didn't think about that. That was the first time when you could kind of directly connect with the bands through the computer. A little
Instantly, you just
easier.
be like, hey, what's going on? We had Jamie Johnston hit us up, and he was trying to start some death metal label back in the day. And I guess he saw our numbers, and we never heard back from him, but we were like blown away. We like took a screenshot. We're like, is this really fucking him? And he was like, yeah, that's the guy. He was like, yeah, you know. But, you know, that's how easy it was. It was just a, hey, I'm here. And you're like, wow, I'm like this degree closer to anybody.
Yeah.
So I think this was like the thing. Like I got everybody like in my pocket now. This kind of concept, you know. You know this. So I think it was huge. But the music player for sure. And then once you got to understand that you could customize this whole page and recode it, and people started to do that with the MySpace layouts, and people are getting paid to do that. I think it branched out a lot of people to do programming. To be honest, people were really interested. Like, how the fuck do you do this? And they're like, well, this is how. Find the way here. This is, you know,
Figured it out. Yeah.
Figure it out yourself. Yeah, a lot of deconstructive code.
Wait, there's another question I gotta ask before the chat too. You, Waking the Cadaver and Sanguisugabogg, 2 most fucked up fucking logos in the beginning.
Of course.
Because that Waking the Cadaver logo, the original one.
Yeah, really irritated a lot of people. My hat tilted to the side irritated a lot of people. A lot of things irritated a lot of people, but yeah, the logo. I was so stoked to see Sanguisugabogg logo, and I was like, you know what, this is one. Again, got the memo, understood, and dominated, and now is getting the recognition for all the great domination that everybody loves and worships. And it's a worship level band. You know, you're just like, fuck yes, I'm a lifer for this. You know, so that's what's up. And when you can reach these levels, you know, you're just like, it's unfathomable. You can't even understand. I'm so humbled to it myself. I'm just like, I can't even believe this is going on in life. Like, are you kidding me? Like, wow. You know, I still can't believe it. So, you know, your fucking band is just like off the wall, like perfection, in my opinion. And that's the way, you know, you fucking deliver.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I feel like it's getting harder to do that too. Like it's getting harder for bands to stand out. And one of the bands that's doing it now is Bloodtide. I feel like Bloodtide is kind of the new generation on Facebook and Instagram, but they're doing the exact same thing that you guys did like 20 years ago, and they're starting to kind of get a following. And yeah, I mean, you see a lot of bands that, like my own band, Separemia, they say like, "Oh, we gotta fix the logo. People can't read it," and I'm like, I'm fighting them. I'm like, "Fuck you! Like, leave it alone. Like, it looks like shit. Leave it. It's perfect." Like, no, they're like, "No, we gotta like line it up." But like, you don't see that anymore. Like, you don't see bands taking risks. You don't see bands like, "Oh, well, it looks like shit, but whatever. Let's just do it like that." Like, you know, it's. I feel like, I don't know. It's part of the conversation that we were having earlier. I feel like death metal is changing. You know, like the transition mediums of death metal are changing, so the message is changing, and like, you know, I don't know how Devin or Don feel about that, but like,
yeah, I'll tell you right now how There's somebody said one time, I don't know the guy's name. He's not really that important to me because he's a fucking jerk off. But he's some guy somewhere who's important to somebody who runs some podcast. I don't know what his name is, but he said something like, quote, "Death, awakening Cadaver has ruined death metal." And this was like, I guess people would be happy to hear that. I don't know how I feel about it to this day, to be honest, because really what you're not understanding is the artistic aspect of it. You're not understanding how abstract it can be. You're a very narrow-minded thinking person, and this is somebody who's really like supposed to be like the man around these parts. You know what I mean? Like, chill, son, chill the fuck out. Like, calm down. Like, you're not understanding is the problem, and you're making your fucking ignorance explode on everybody's face.
There's a lot of gatekeeping in the metal scene.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So anyway, I go into
I mean, Devin, do you experience that too a lot? Because the band's logo and the fucking music is just, you're playing for Lorna Shore, but your music is definitely not Lorna Shore friendly,
Yeah, I mean, the one cool thing that I've always noticed when I discovered death metal, it's like you had to show everybody, even people that you knew weren't into it. Maybe you could recruit them or get them into it. So I always
that's a good word, yeah.
Yeah, like I always like grew up like like death metal is for everybody, and it's just like whether you keep a hold of it, that's your call. If it hits you a certain way, then you take it with you, and then it becomes your life. But so we have a lot of like normal ass people. We have a lot of like Spencers and H&M shoppers like jumping up and down. And then another thing too is like, we get a lot of shit from a lot of like elitist minded like people, and I've caught myself being that kind of way too. Like, when I see people listen to stuff that I'm a full-on hater, so like if I hear people playing some weak shit, I'm like, I might not say something, but if I'm in the car with them, I'll be like, we got to change this song, dude. So but so there's a lot of jaded people that are like, oh, these are just like punk ass kids and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I have a Mortician tattoo, a Gorgasm tattoo. I've been going to death metal shows since I was like 14. I went to death metal shows. I went to Pit Boss shows. So like,
what up, guys?
So like I had I've been into it for a long time. So it's just like those kind of people, they think one way and you can't convince them, any different. Dude, like, with all due respect, because I love Hell's Headbangers, but like J-Dog, like just spews like all this hatred towards my band, and I'm like, dude, I've played in so many bands that I have seen you right up front, like, and I'm in front of you playing, and you get into it, and I see you get into it. So stop playing,
Well, usually the biggest haters are your biggest fans.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, because they're following everything you do. Like, they're looking at everything you do. They like, even if they hate it, they follow it. Like.
I mean, I was talking to somebody about bad publicity. I was like, bring it on, dude. All publicity.
As long as the names.
Yeah.
As long as the name gets out.
Make sure that website's at the bottom.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
That's what happened to Waking. 1 million views later on the meme video, and all of a sudden there's people.
Exactly. No.
Yeah, people telling me. Mayo was telling me back in the day that the cheerleaders in his high school would get revved up with the football team to like chase through the woods, and I was like, get out.
Nice.
Like, this is insane. Like, you don't know where your music's reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's interesting.
I met some people. There's a weird kind of crossover, dude, because like at our shows, man, I've ran into like professional football players. I've ran into like pro wrestlers, TikTok people, Instagram people. There's one rapper that he came to our Toronto show, and invited us over to his place, and he's got like 2 in-ground pools and an indoor pool, and like I'm like, who are you, dude? And come to find out, he's like this huge deal that just like completely slipped my radar. And it's like, you don't know, I mean, especially with the internet and everything, like everyone's attention span is measured in like nanoseconds. So
right.
You can go through bands.
There's so
like,
many alternate universes,
catalogs.
right?
Yeah.
There's so many fucking alternate universes that you can't even see them all.
Exactly. And the internet is forever, man. I mean, whether it's like Zuckerberg spying on you and sending the shit out, or it's like you post something, it's there forever, dude. If one person saw it, 1,000 people seen it. So like,
yeah.
And that's what matters, dude. Like getting your music out there and getting it into people. And if I played a show where I swear, dude, it looks like people walked out of a frat party, and I'm like, you guys are into this, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, like they'll buy all our merch and stuff. And who am I to like turn them away for just being a little bit different than the people that I hang out with or something, So
you know what, too? I want to throw this out there because I thought about this right before the live cast started, and this would go to Devin and Don. You guys were amongst the first people to really hit the fucking shirt thing hard, and hoodies, and have a lot of fucking, you had a couple songs, but like you were hitting the fucking shirts and the merchandise and hitting the fans with like so much cool stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought that was cool. I didn't, and then, people put shit on that name to say like, oh, that ain't good, But I'm like, no, that's good, dude. Like,
yeah.
It's a good thing. It's kind of cool. Like, Waking a Cadaver, I remember in the MySpace days, and right after, I mean, it was all about fucking, everyone just wanted a fucking shirt with that fucking tree fucking logo, And same with your fucking band, Devin, like, you guys were hitting the fucking merch, and, I mean, you're in a fucking band, so obviously you should be,
Bro,
you gotta heat.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I mean, I gotta put that on full screen, man, because I had Can you talk about that, man?
Can you hear this? Yeah.
What the fuck?
Can you hear the Chase of the Winds?
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's crazy. But
where the fuck did that thing come from, man?
Bro, I just got these ordered from this Indie Connection company. This guy hits me up. He does the wrestlers and shit. And I was like, bro, I used to have like the Ultimate Warrior and shit back in the day growing up. He's like, bro, I'm a huge fan. Can I do this? I was like, yeah. So Andig Godfinger, who's watching now, shout out, did the artwork. So he did this of me. And then people are like, wow, I never seen anybody do this. I said, I think everybody should do this. I think Devin's with one and just be like, yo, it was like, squeeze the chest. I mean, I was like,
it's an interesting
people like, where's the long hair version? Where's the Lord Marco? I was like, oh shit, this is like everybody should have like a trading card or something. But it was really funny. So there's like one version with me with the hat off, but I was like, maybe everybody should get into doing things and exploring different kind of
action figures.
Yeah, exactly. Like action figures are going on. Gutter Christ Productions has always got these action figures going on. He showed me all this shit, and I was like, damn, like anything you want to create now, you could just get it done, like 3D printing or whatever. It's just like, I want a toy. You can be a toy. I really wanted to do like trading cards and have like sick ass fucking holograms and shit, and be like, yeah, sick trading cards, and you're like only X amount printed, collectors. And whenever it comes with a stick of gum, like you can get this done. Like that's that's the shit. Like have some whole
Topps cards for brutal bands.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I hope somebody's hearing this. I was gonna do this, but I was like, it's just I get so many things going on.
Yeah, we did pre-workout on the last tour.
Yeah,
which was crazy. Had like our logo and shit on it, and it had like 800 milligrams of caffeine, and so we were just drinking it to drink it.
You got great marketing, bro. Your marketing.
Yeah, your marketing game is hot, dude.
Yeah, you gotta have good marketing.
That's just like Don, man. That's all me, dude. Just dicking around,
That's it. You just go for it.
Yeah, getting stoned and being on the computer just.
That's it. I mean, back in the day, we had 3 logos. I was like, maybe we're fucking really being an asshole. Why did we use 3 plus a slogan logo?
Right.
I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What are you doing?
Well, you know what it
Stop
is?
drawing shit.
The biggest takeaway that I've taken away from merch is that, your fans, when they come to the show, they might only have enough money to get in and maybe like $10 or $20 left.
Sure,
and they can't afford a fucking shirt. So if
you
you
know
got a
shirts are going
sticker
for now?
or a
Shirts are going
patch,
$50.
or just something small, man, they just want to leave with some stickers or a patch or something,
I know.
And
Yeah,
it's important to them too, and they take that
sure.
shit home and they fucking cherish that shit.
Oh, absolutely. I love giving shit away. It's one of my favorite things to do, to watch the expression on people's faces. The other day, I was just like, here, take it. I don't care. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Right.
Anybody remember after COVID when Defeated Sanity came back out? They had the little bottle of
hand sanitizer.
And it sold out. I was like, that's genius.
Yeah,
defeated sanitizer.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm like,
You know
bro,
what's
that's
funny?
fucking
I think
genius. Like,
Sorry to leave you laying in the cut, Ed, so bad back there,
Oh, no problem. I was gonna say, I think Gorgasm did like soap recently. It might have been like a month or 2 ago.
Soap, smart.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Soap,
like
it'll be sick.
a masticate to
Fight Club.
dominate colored soap.
Smart. Yeah.
My friend who comes on here sometimes, he told me that back in the 80s that he would go tour with a band, right? And like they didn't have too much merch, so like they would buy like boxes of like matchbooks and just like put like logos on them, and like, or like they would buy like sewing kits and put the band's logo on it, and they would just have it at the merch table as like a $2 or $3 fucking thing. He's like, they sold them all fucking matchbooks, dude. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We've done gold chains.
Yeah.
With the logo on it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool.
Lighters, like all kinds of stuff, dude. Roger, out of his shop and stuff too, has done some. He's done like coasters for us and Zippo lighters and like all kinds of weird stuff that I was, that you kind of need. So like,
right.
Anybody could use a coaster, I guess. So.
I mean, people, like I said, the fans, they just want to leave with something that's like a memento, something small, or
we were doing the thing where we were just like, as an extra item, just to either like a giveaway, we went and just printed up really nice set lists.
Oh yeah,
we just have them, and it's so nice for the kids that really don't have a lot of money, and you can just see in their face like they really want something, like you said. And we don't have any stickers, like we're assholes.
People are loving this set list thing. I know.
Yeah, the set list thing. Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to get it from the stage. If the kid, that's like a crazy thing, right? So I'm just like, here, from the little kid or whatever, like sign it. It's a takeaway. These kids go fucking nuts for that shit. And we're there. Like I sell the merch. I'm not, I know some, I get it though. I get it. I'm not always 100% there. I'm like 99.99% always there. And like, I'm always talking to people. I know people don't do this all the time, and I totally understand why. I totally get it. But I enjoy it, and I really enjoy the feedback. I know it can be much sometimes, and I know when you're a higher level band playing to bigger markets, you simply can't do these types of things. But I simply can't get enough of it, and I've gotten even sick doing it. But I love talking to people. I love slinging the merch. I love seeing people light up about it. I love giving away free shit.
They want to meet you, bro.
Yeah, they want to meet you. I've seen a lot of bands.
Fans
some people don't do this. They charge a lot of money for the meet and greet. Fine.
Listen, fans want to fucking connect with the fucking band, dude.
Of course.
That's the bottom line, man.
Take
it from someone who's not an autograph seeker. But I do like to see the member of the band in the fucking crowd, not in the back.
Yeah, of course. I remember seeing it. I was like, oh my god, you light up, like that's the guy. Holy shit!
I don't even have to talk to him. You know where that came from too? I know exactly where that came from me, from going to Lemoore and seeing fucking Dan Lilker there, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude, Dan Lilker is at this fucking show, dude. So like that was like the first for me. The first like I was like, I can't, dude. I love Nuclear Assault. I love SOD.
Yeah.
So like, there was no Brutal Truth at that point. So I was like, I can't fucking believe Dan Luker is here, dude. That is
Yeah,
so
it's a
fucking
sick feeling, right? You're just,
Yeah.
everybody can feel this. You're just like, this is sick. You know, you have to
Yeah.
kind of give back in that way, and I do that. I
Yeah.
have conversations with kids. These kids at Death Feast a couple years back, they started pouring their hearts out to me, right? And I wasn't ready for this. I was like, you know, what size shirt, you know? And they're just like, man, you changed my fucking life, this and that, and you know, I've gotten this a lot. But these kids, and you know, it's very humbling. But when it was like 3 kids in a row, and they went through some hard shit, and they were like, look, man, we listened to a lot of Waking. Waking's been there for us. Really appreciate it. Long story short. And they were just like really emotional about it. I turned around and started fucking crying. I was like, fuck, man, I can't handle this shit right now. I wasn't ready for this blow. They're just piling on like, yo, you changed my life, this and that. I mean, you don't think this is going to happen. You don't think, you know, you're not going out looking for these types of stories. Right. It's just coming in. Like when you're available, you get to understand and communicate and understand your audience and your fan base. And then, to be honest, really all that turns to is a sale anyway. Like at some point, the kid's going to be like, I remember how you made me feel. You made me feel fucking dope. Take my money, please. This isn't.
It does happen like that.
This is a tactic. This is a marketing tactic. I'm in marketing and sales.
Someone asked me about vending, at Maryland Death Fest this past year. They're like, "How'd you do?" I said, "I don't care. I'm just there to meet people, basically, and that way they put a face on the label, and when they go home, they can fucking order the shit off the website."
Right,
I
You're doing a lot more than trying to
it has
push
nothing to do with the
sales down
vending.
people's throat. Don't work.
Did I sell some stuff? Yeah, but the thing is, it's not about that. It's about putting a face.
I don't even care to hear about numbers until the end of tour, man. You know,
it doesn't matter till the end. Yeah, everybody's getting paid. There's so many numbers going this way, that way. It's just like whatever, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, they're like, "How'd you do?" I'm like, shit, I didn't even count the money, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I got to meet, you know how I did? I got to meet fucking like 30 or 40 fans. That's the difference. Like, or whatever. I got to, there were so many people hitting me, Death Metal Podcast, Necroharmonic, back and forth. And I love it, dude. I'll talk about it all fucking day, man.
Yeah, we're like in a new world now of tech. So if you're not kind of resurfacing your face and redoing the old days of showing face and showing up, I think you're fucking up. I feel like
you are.
There, you need to be present. You need to understand that the community is different now. It's 20 years later from the last time you checked in and did something giant, and now it's back full swing. It's got its own spin on it. It's got new words. It's got new labels. It's got new terms. It's all new, and I feel like there's kids now that are hitting me up, and you know they're blowing up, and from rekindling what was already done. Just by starting the band by saying, well, there's the template that was already created. We all laid the work for. And then I'm just going to do that, do my own thing. Right. And it's literally like you can just roll a band out pretty damn quick these days.
That's pretty inspirational, though. I mean, or even to maybe see a kid come from being like 18 and then like you're stay in the scene for 10 years and then like 10 years later.
Sure. He's like, I'm on a track with the kid. He's like, I can't fucking believe this. I'm like, it's all good. Man. You know, it's cool.
Yeah,
you know, like it makes me feel very humble, and it's awesome that you can create with other people. Creating music is the dopest shit you can fucking do in this lifetime. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You can create fucking music with people, man. You've already accomplished the top dog shit, and everybody knows that when you're at band practice and you're listening to shit that didn't even exist 2 minutes ago, but now it does, and it's ill as fuck. You don't even you can't even explain that. There's nothing that's going to top that. It is the ultimate, and I feel like that's what we're constantly doing. We're constantly getting that high. That's the ultimate fucking high you could possibly get. And then you get to take that high and run with it and have a blast with it. And I feel like you can't, this is better than drugs. You can't even get anything better than this. You know, the energy at our shows are hands down some of the most extreme you will ever experience. ever. And I feel like what's old is new. And if you're not there to experience, you're not even getting the kudos that people are even getting it for, because people are showing up now to really capture moment. They want to record it now that they can. Right. You didn't have this 20 years ago on MySpace. I didn't have a fucking good phone. I had a shitty flip phone that couldn't capture anything, so now I feel like that's what is old is new, and now people are able to rekindle that for us and do a lot of work, a lot of promoting and legwork just because of the social media sharing, you know. So times are different now, and I feel like, you know, it was so good to see you, Roy, too, and rekindle. And this is exactly
Yeah, it
what we're
was.
talking about here. You know, it's like this is all a big rekindling of life and the what started it all.
For me and you, like a full circle.
Full
again,
circle, you know, and now
Yeah.
everything's just so fucking sick, you know, and I'm like, great, you know, this is just good. This makes me so fucking happy. It's very blessed. So
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's-
love when people, I want to say, stick around in the scene forever.
yeah, of
dude,
course,
you know?
yeah, stick around. It's not
Because
easy.
they, you know, I've been friends with people that I wrote a letter to fucking in 1990 and then became friends with them, and now it's 2024 and they live in fucking Japan, dude. You know what I mean? Or I've released fucking Anatomia or one of their bands, and it's just like, to me, man, I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I've known this motherfucker longer than I knew my fucking wife, you know, my ex-wife. You know, I've known this motherfucker longer, you know, than, you know, like my fucking, you know, like way longer than anybody.
The world's smaller than you think it is.
It really is, man.
It really
it's fucking
is.
amazing.
Really, really, really is.
And the same thing you were talking about earlier, like, I would say music or whatever, that kept me off drugs, dude, because I wanted to spend
Right,
my
you
money
get that a
on
lot.
something.
Yeah. Your music was clean.
I
Was
bought
on
music
what I
and
needed.
records and tapes, and instead of buying drugs. And
Right, no, word
all
up.
my friends are
Well
dead
said.
mostly. You know, I don't want to laugh about it, but like most of my boys, like 2/3 of them are dead, man. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
that's what I was saying before. I was like, I'm glad everybody's here because not everybody lasted so long. You know, a lot of people did a lot of abuse, and
yeah.
they had their time, and that's also a thing too. Like when you are, it's so cool to record what you're doing with your friends, you know, and then to be able to hear that recorded, you know, when you pass away, you still have this fucking dope shit left over. That's just like, yeah, he's gone, but he ain't gone. He's still right here.
I thought about that even with this podcast because I said so much shit on here. I'm just like, you know what? If I get hit by a car tomorrow, at least I got some of my stories.
At least
out.
I got it all out.
I didn't get it all out, but I'm saying at least I got some of it out.
A little
bit. The thing is now it's like we're talking about how everybody's in different areas and how we're still all connected. The technology is more accessible now. You know, you don't have to go into like a studio with tubes and glass or anything. You can just, you know, I have my computer, I have my interface, I have my instrument, and I can go, or I have my microphone, and and that's actually what I think. What's like, you know, I saw Ed and like Will and like all these other kids like kind of like rising up, and I was working. I wasn't even in bands. I was in like a guitar shop, and like, you know, these kids would come in like with incantation shirts and mortician shirts and be like, "Yo, man, I made this song like on my laptop. You want to check it out?" And I'm like, I'm looking at this like, what the fuck? Like, you know, where'd the new generation come from? But there's all these new kids now getting into the music that we thought was dying because it was mostly.
Yeah.
But now it's like this whole new.
It's a whole new
like
thing.
also like
Incredible.
I feel like Sanguisugabogg. Sorry,
You're good.
I feel like Sanguisugabogg is kind of like one of the newcomers doing that, and I feel like, you know, it wasn't too long ago. Like I was on the other side of the fence. You know, I was just watching bands. I wasn't playing in bands. You know, and like watching like the kids like Ed and Will like killing it and dripping that. You know, like it's all coming around full circle, and I feel like technology has just made it easier. You know, like it's made it. You know, you can record a song at home. You can mix it at home. You don't need to go to a studio anymore. It's really fucking cool. I think like it's more positive now because at one point, you know, you have a lot of jaded, like we talked about the gatekeeping and everything. Everyone's like, oh well, all this new music sucks, and it's like, no, but dude, there's new kids who are doing this and who are doing it. You're making brutal ass music. And, like, it's a whole new generation. You know?
Yeah. I noticed that from going to shows because I go to a show where I think, there'll be like 30, 40 people there. I'm like, there's a fucking 150 people at this a fucking skeletal remains show. I'm like, really? In Albany, New York? I can't even believe this, dude.
Even I feel old going to shows now. Which is, I remember being the youngest dude there, and now it's like, it's a bunch of kids, dude, and it's sick. Because then you'll look at them too, and they're singing word for word what the band's playing. So
they know the shit.
They're into it. They're actually really into it.
Or
That's
they're
awesome.
playing better than us.
So
Can you get a preview of the Ancient Death? This is as preview as it gets, I guess, maybe. Sorry, hold on, I'll put myself on solo. There's no preview of the music, but there you go. There's a preview. Buy the tape if you want to preview it. Thank you. So yeah, man, this has been cool though. Thank you guys for
I appreciate it.
shooting
Of course.
shit and
Yes, cool
you know what I
fuck.
mean. I wanted to try to encapsulate a little bit of the history of some of the stuff, and it was cool to have you on, Devin. I didn't really expect you to stick around, but I appreciate you. You
Yeah,
know,
appreciate it.
because
bro.
you know, like your band definitely did make a lot of fucking waves the last couple of years, dude. You know.
Man, Roy, I'm a big fan of you, dude. You know, so when we started talking online and everything, it was a couple years back. It's been cool, dude. You know,
Yeah,
and
same for me, man.
seeing Craig Pillard pop here out of nowhere, like that.
Yeah.
I about shit my pants. So, you know,
Yeah, man.
it's been sick. It's been cool. Big fan of Don and.
Big
You
fan
know,
of you.
so
Gutter,
it's been
Sebastian
sick.
left to go
I'm
out to
here in
eat with Tia.
Tennessee.
He's on sleeping, so yeah,
He's not
they-
sleeping. He left his drummer here, who's just hanging out, who's just
Oh, yeah.
chilling over here. Not his drummer, his bass
He
player.
still hasn't eaten
guitar.
spaghetti, dude.
Who I wanted to have him on too, because like I saw his energy with the vocals like at the live New Jersey Death Fest, and I'm like, God
thank you,
damn,
man.
this fucking dude
Yeah,
kills
totally.
it, man.
yeah.
Because as was said, like Dripping never really had a vocalist, you know what I mean? So it was cool to see that, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for like joining and talking about your shit, man. I appreciate it. You know,
Totally, brother.
this was definitely
Yeah.
cool. You
And
know,
roll.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
I
respect.
think you know
Yeah,
it's been a family affair. You know, that's the biggest thing. And if you're into it, you're gonna stay. Like Devin was kind of broaching the subject, like. You're there forever in a way, dude, you know? Like, if you're really into this shit, you wake up and you listen to music, or you check your mail, you got fucking tapes. You go online, you do fucking media, you know what I mean? It just becomes your whole fucking life, dude.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
your life. It's a lifestyle. It's a life. It's a proud
Yeah.
life.
And it's a good one. It's a positive and good
Yeah.
thing to
It
be
really
that
is. It
involved.
really is. People say it all the time, you know, they're new to the scene. They're like, wow, I can't really believe how nice everybody is and how awesome this is. You know, like they don't know. And some kids the other day at the show were like, dude, I just found out about your fucking band 2 weeks ago.
Right.
They're like, we can't even believe you're here. We drove 3 hours to get here. We're going to fuck shit up for you. I was the kid.
Right.
And he meant
Yeah.
it, man. I was like, go, baby, go. You know, you look like you're going to deliver, boy. You
Yeah,
know, like,
I mean,
it's
I could attest to this because, like, I showed up to see Mortician and Incantation, and I had not even heard them, basically. So,
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, the first Mortician show, basically.
That's
I went to
sick.
the show with, like, 7 or 8 other people from Carney, including Bill Venner from Disma, and 4 other people that I went to the show with passed away, actually. But the thing is, the bottom line is the flyer. I thought it was McEntee sent it to me because he was in Revenant, so I knew Revenant. So I just went to this show that he sent the flyer to, and I had never heard the fucking bands. And that was a life changing moment for me, man. As soon as I saw
sick.
Mortician's first like fucking 3 riffs, I was like, or 2 riffs or whatever the fuck they have. I was like, holy fucking, who the fuck is that guy, dude? Like. Meaning Will, you know, and like, dude, the vocals are so low, dude, you know. But yeah, I had never even heard the fucking band, man. Like, and it was like a life changing moment for me, man. Like, it was cool, you know.
Yeah.
But so, all right, we're gonna wrap it up, though. I appreciate you guys for coming
Appreciate
on,
you guys.
man.
Oh yeah.
This has been Death Metal Podcast for you, everybody. I'm probably just gonna wrap this up and keep it at interview only. So thank you. Thank you, Devin. We're looking forward to the next Sanguisugabogg. Could you tell what was that title again?
Hideous Aftermath.
Okay, and that's coming with
Century Media.
Century Media.
Alright.
Cool,
Next
man.
year.
Any tentative? Yeah, like next year.
Probably around our headliner, like in the fall, or somewhere ballparked around there, so we can get videos and get married, have my honeymoon, and all that shit
Okay.
out of the way. So, yeah.
You want to shout out any of your other band members? I got a lot of other side bands I know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Earthburner. I'm also in a band called Tomb Sentinel. Um, Shit. Be on the lookout for this too. I did something with Adam Jarvis from Pig Destroyer and Misery Index recently,
Cool.
and it's called Bludgeon by Deformity. So it's like 295 BPM, like old school brutal death, and really stoked about that. I'm gonna be plugging that here soon. Um, our guitar player Drew's also a Mutilatred. They just started recording new songs and stuff, and yeah, just
Volcano, right?
Volcano. Yep, that's set in
Putrid
set in
Stew.
Drew. Yep, Putrid Stew, Skag, our DB project, and Dyskinesia. So
Dyskinesia, yep.
I'm in like 30 things, dude. There's nothing else to do in Ohio, bro. Love to just like work out, watch football, and death metal. So
Hell yeah.
Cool, man. And Jules, what about you, man? Oh wait, actually, let's go to our center square. Are you still playing in Blood Tide, brother?
Yeah. I play guitar for Blood Tide. We're writing an album right now. There's 5 of us, and we're just about reaching the end of the writing stages. So we're gonna probably go into the studio sometime soon and pump something out. So we're excited.
Cool, man.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
We're excited for you, man. The Blood Tide song sounded sick, man.
Thank you. I
What did you
appreciate
do?
that.
You had only put out 2 songs so far with Blood Tide?
Yeah, so
Officially?
we have a 2-track, I guess you could call it a single or EP. I forgot what Spotify put it as, but it's called Versus Initiation, and it's basically it's kind of just a demo. We were trying to find our sound,
Right.
and at that stage, our other guitar player and bassist, their instruments were swapped, and we sounded a lot different back then. Like it was kind of more bare bones. So we're trying to reach out into like more of a technical brutal death metal kind of territory. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I wanted to have you on here too, because like I told Seb, I was like, yo, man, that kid brings a lot of energy to the live show, bro. You know? So
Thank you, dude.
I gotta hand it to you, man.
Oh, yeah.
I was really impressed, dude. You
Hell
know?
yeah.
Thank you,
Because
man.
like I said,
try.
Dripping never has a singer, dude. So I saw you singing, so I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah, it was nice.
How about you, Jules? Talk about your
Oh
bands.
there's Sepramia. It's like technical brutal death metal from Miami, Florida, and they're still active. We have an LP that's coming out with 2 songs that are insane. Like one song was by John Longstreth on drums.
oh wow.
Yeah, and he said it was difficult. He's like, dude, your song was insane. Like he tried to charge us more. We were like, nah, we're not gonna pay you. You do the song and that's it. Like, and then we got Christoph from Belfagor and he used to play in Vader. We got him on the second song, and then after that we're gonna do a full length. And then I have an album with Derek Roddy, where I did
Sick.
like all the vocals, I did all the bass, I did all the guitars, and we're mixing it. And then it's gonna come out. It's gonna be like a one-off, like a one thing.
Okay.
And beyond that, mainly dripping. Like right now is my main priority. So we'll see what happens.
But you're in Belfagor too, right?
Live.
You
They wanted me to
session-
record. They wanted me to record on the new album, but then when I wanted to, they were like, "No, you're taking too long. I'm gonna do it now." And I was like, "What? I can do it right now." And they just didn't have it. So I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's your thing. Do your thing." So
Well, we look forward to hearing the new stuff. What's the name of the band with Derek Roddy, or it's unnamed?
Oh, well, we had a joke about that because he has Serpent's Rise, and I had another band called Deviant Burial. So we called it Deviant Serpents. That's probably not going to be the name, but right now it's the name. So, well, it'll be up and it'll be online and it'll be, available. It'll be cool. It's like a lot of suffocation, a lot of incantation. So it'll be cool.
There's the bass player Dripping joining the chat. What's up, Tom? How's it going, man? How you doing, Tommy?
Oh shit.
Did you get the Sanguisugabogg page back?
Oh no.
No? I'm
Not-
sure you
not
guys will
yet.
work that out. Don,
Yeah,
are you in
we'll
any
work
other
on it.
bands? I know you did guest vocals for a couple things.
Yeah, I'm doing some guest vocals for people. That seems to be the thing that's popping off. This wound up being a guest vocal thing too, and I guess temporary vocalist for however long I can do it until there's some.
Well, which bands did you do guest vocals for? Vulvectomy, I remember. No.
Recently, well, the recent one was this band Psycho Frame that came out. That's got really popular.
Okay.
I think they got some Nuclear Blast or something. I don't know. They're popping off. They're really big. Nine Dead popped off. We didn't know that was going to happen. South Jersey band contacts me, and all of a sudden, I got it. They got it. Like over 500,000. There's Spotify plays. There's a record sitting there with a picture on it, name on it, gold fucking thing. I was like, whoa. So yeah, it's like you can order these things. If you hit certain numbers, you can hit these upper echelons of like getting these pieces.
Gold
I was like, that's pretty
Spotify
sick.
plaques.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. So I was like, that's pretty legit. You can't
Don't forget Hate
like
Diplomacy.
$200 a pop
Definitely.
or something. Yeah, Hate Diplomacy. Yeah, Hate Diplomacy was side project in 2016 when Waking was taking a break. Came from Puerto Rico and had an objective to write about things that people didn't want to really talk about or discuss. And I'm just a man for the job.
And what about other members of your band? I know obviously 6 Feet Under, Marco.
Marco and Ray are
other
in
bands?
6 Feet Under, so that's kind of crazy. I have to work around 6 Feet Under schedule, so if they can't be there, so I had to say no to a lot of things because of this. So if you're contacting us for shows right now, it's like a big juggle if we can do it. But we are playing out, if we're available. So you got
Ready to
singles. If
dominate.
you want to play, let me know.
You know what I didn't get to tell you, Don? There was somebody on the podcast probably 100 something episodes ago, and his runs a record label. He said that Waking the Cadaver show in California was a fucking big thing. Like, remember when you guys went to Cali for the first time years ago?
First time, with Gutter Christ, he was there.
That made a big splash.
It was a big thing. Yeah, it was a big
like,
deal to have this MySpace band over there, and it was packing now, and we got paid very handsomely,
and also
slinging merch for us like a motherfucker.
Big influence on that show. Influenced a lot of motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah, it was different. It was East Coast, different shit. Instantly over there, like I remember getting asked, like, "Hey, you want to go to California?" I was like, "This must be a sick joke. Like this band just started. What are you talking about? People want us somewhere?" They're like, "No, it's serious. 3 shows." And we went over there. Gutter knows, he was there, saw the whole thing. And one of the shows that was mostly talked about is the show that probably, in my opinion, would have really done some damage online for the footage. It would have been like really epic, but it never went down. And it's because there was mustard tear gas bombs that were thrown in and maced everybody. And this crowd was packed, and it was packed with a lot of kids. And they just, Gutter got hit. I mean, he come out, people are just vomiting, bleeding, crying. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I'm in the back. The guy hands me the guarantee right in my hand, and I hear screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't get hit with the gas, but I felt bad. I came outside. People are fucking freezing. Mind you, it's in Southern California, and it's the first time these kids have ever seen snow because it started to fucking snow. I can't make this up. The only shit we had to sell were fucking hoodies, so it turned out real well for $40.
Oh yeah.
We blew out of them, and Gutter never seen so many hoodies sold.
Yeah, you just said it. Most shirts I ever seen sold
at one show. Yeah, I don't lie. I'm telling you, he was like, I can't believe it. And
it wasn't just about the shows, but I've talked to other bands on here and other fans, and they have referenced those 3 shows or one of those 3 shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were big shows.
Left some kind of fucking impact out there.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the wildest thing. I didn't really see that going on. When you're doing your thing, you don't really think, oh, I hope I'm leaving an impact on everybody's mind today, and they remember me in 20 years. Like, this is not a thing at all, right? So fast forward, it's happening, and you're like getting a story with it. You're getting someone's life, with it. Yeah.
I don't know if it was Severus. I know had mentioned them. You guys, a couple other bands, but I was like, holy fuck! Like, I didn't realize people were, like that tapped in, or they were young, but they were
Yeah.
14. They were 14 back then.
Yeah, Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard. It's so
Or
Die Hard.
13 or something. Yeah.
We are playing music where it's only, I think, going to draw that kind of person where you're either all in or you're not. You're not coming in here to dick around and tiptoe around and saying, "Oh, I don't know if this is for me." You didn't fucking get this far into the music world and got this and come out to a show and be like, "No, it's not for me." Like, no, you're there because you are dedicated, you love it, and you want to. You
go berserk.
You can't do without it. You know what I mean? You're into it. You're committed. So, I feel like there's a lot of that going on today. To really wrap it up, I think all of us today can be extremely appreciative of the fans. Can be grateful for the other bandmates and bands we've all toured with and got to create things with, and they're still doing that. And I could say right now that I did not think I'd be touring the world with my friends, with people giving a fuck about this disgusting ass music in my entire life. And I'm really grateful that there is an entire community who really give a fuck. So it's really.
So it's here too to wrap this up too. Thank you for the people in the chat. Bob Kelly, Justin Wild, Erin, Zach, Jason Scholl, Craig Pillard, Jaden Varney, One Red Cloud, Dark Horse. Who else? Melanie Loves Death Metal. Awesome thing. Haley Bug, Zach, Jaden Varney, Slipknot fan. Thank you for all the comments, everybody. Frank Vaca, that's Ronnie Dio's cousin. T-Bone Savage, thank you for everybody that tuned in. Trivium Zine, thank you. I hope you guys like the live cast tonight. And then, this is one of your biggest fans, Devin, actually, right here, my man here.
Oh, yeah.
He told me, he's like, fucking Sanguisugabogg, bro. I love him.
That's it.
So, we would like to have the band on, too. It would be cool if you guys could, maybe get a couple members and talk on here one time, That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
Try to work around your schedule or whatever. And same with you, Don. Maybe we'll put Lord Marco, you.
We're available, bro. We already discussed. We're ready to make a lot of content.
I had Lord Marco on here already, so it was
all
cool.
right. Yeah, well, we do it again. We could do more weeking oriented stuff, or talk shit on Mike Caputo for talking shit.
Yeah, well, just like an episode just focused just on
whatever.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We're gonna go out of here with some music. Thank you. I appreciate fucking awesome cast. A lot of information. It was
Later,
cool.
guys.
Thank
Pleasure
you,
to meet you guys.
All right. So this has been Death Metal Podcast. And tonight, this was a pretty sick fucking episode. Like I said, a dual interview with Dripping and Waking the Cadaver. We played the new Dripping stuff. Really sick. What do you call it? The Death Metal Podcast is obviously all equal opportunity employer, or whatever, destroyer. Because I don't just listen to just old school death metal. I fuck with the heavy shit too, man, Thank you, man. Yeah, Sebastian did about an hour and a half, but then he split. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. So I'm gonna be doing more interview shows. I want to steer a little bit away from the playing the music shit. It's getting boring to me. So I'd rather have some talk on here and some bands and have the fans and for myself only, or you guys. I mean, obviously you tuned in, so thank you. So this has been Death Metal Podcast. We'll go out of here with a song and a dance. Yeah. Thank you.
We love you. Thank you so much. Awakening Cadaver, thank you.